Hello friends, I'm a storyteller. I know you're here to escape the world's chaos and drift toward peaceful sleep, but tonight's horror stories aren't just meant to calm you. They're here to pull you deeper into darkness. Relax, sink into your coziest spot, and close your eyes. Let the rain sound wash your weathered mind. Clean these scary stories, for sleep await. Subscribe now. Tell me below, where are you watching from? Your country? What time is it there? Why? Because these tales were woven just for you. Now, let's start.
Curse of Route 66. I'm gripping the steering wheel tightly, my knuckles turning white under the dashboard lights, the desert air whispering through the cracked window. A T. The engine hums steadily. Route 66 stretches out like a black ribbon under the moon. I'm Mike Jenkins, trucking goods from Arizona to New Mexico. The night feels heavy tonight. Stars blink above me, cold and distant. My coffee sits cold in the cup holder. I sip it anyway. The bitterness lingers on my tongue. The clock reads 1:45 a.m. I'm approaching mile marker 60. The road is empty. So it seems. Wind howls outside, carrying dust that scratches against the glass. I'm glancing in the rearview mirror often. Nothing there yet. My heart beats a little faster. I'm telling myself it's just paranoia. The tires rumble over cracks in the pavement. Each bump jolts me slightly. The cab smells of old leather and diesel. 7 minutes tick by, and the air changes. A faint scent of rust creeps in, metallic and sharp, like blood drying on metal. My skin prickles. I hear a low rumble far behind. It's a taint, but growing. The mirror shows only darkness. I'm leaning forward, squinting. The sound vibrates through my seat. It feels like an old engine, ragged and angry. My hands sweat on the wheel. The leather feels slick now, slippery as eel skin. I'm passing mile marker 63. The rumble gets louder. Headlights flicker in the distance behind me. They're blue-tinged, unnatural. A shape forms a truck, old and battered. Its color is deep blue, like midnight ocean depths. I'm staring, breath catching in my throat. It's matching my speed exactly. The grille looks twisted, almost grinning. I'm whispering to myself, not again, but it is happening. The desert landscape blurs past. Cacti stand like silent sentinels. The moon casts long shadows. I'm trying to radio my bass, but static fills the speakers. It crackles harshly, like laughter from static ghosts. My mind races. I told my colleagues about this yesterday. They laughed it off. Now, it feels too real. The blue truck edges closer. Its lights pulse faintly. 15 minutes into the drive, the horror reveals itself. The cab of the blue truck isn't empty. A silhouette sits there, hunched over the wheel. No face visible, just darkness. But I feel its gaze on me. My chest tightens. Breathing becomes hard. The rumble turns into a growl, echoing in my bones. Like a predator's call, I'm flooring the gas pedal. My truck surges forward slightly, but the blue truck keeps pace effortlessly. I smell smoke now, faint and acrid. It seeps into the cab, stinging my eyes. The texture of the air feels thicker, heavy as fog rolling in from nowhere. I'm wiping sweat from my forehead. The figure in the blue truck shifts. It raises a hand, waving slowly. My blood runs cold. Is it mocking me? The road curves gently. Take it wide, hoping to lose it. No luck. It sticks like a shadow. My memories stir uneasily. I recall childhood drives with Dad on this route. but something's off. The blue truck wasn't in those memories before. Hey, now, it feels like it was always there. I'm shaking my head, trying to clear it. The whispering starts, faint voices in the wind. They say my name, Mike, Mike, I'm turning up the radio volume. Static drowns it out temporarily. 30 minutes pass, and my mind twists. A memory changes suddenly. I remember stopping at mile 66 last week, but I never did. The blue truck was there, waiting. Its driver stepped out, face hidden, but he knew my secrets. I'm gasping, confused. The road ahead looks different now. Signs blur, mile markers repeat. 64, 65, then 64 again. That can't be right. The blue truck's closer, its engine roaring triumphantly. The scent intensifies, decay mixed with oil. Rotten, like forgotten graves. I touch the window. It's cold, frost forming, inexplicably. The figure leans forward in its cab, eyes glint red, piercing. No answer. The truck sways, mumping my rear lightly. My vehicle shudders, adrenaline surges through me. I'm weaving lanes, but Route 66 is straight here. The desert mocks me with its silence. Thick stars seem to dim, thick glees. My mirror now, jagged metal teeth gleam. I'm pounding the horn. It blares into the night, a desperate cry swallowed by emptiness. Memories flood in, altered my colleagues warning me about the curse, but they didn't. Or did they? 7 more minutes. Sensory overload hits. The air tastes coppery, like biting on pennies. My tongue feels numb. Sounds amplify the engine. The wind, the rumble. Everything pulses. The blue truck's lights flash rhythmically, hypnotizing like a siren's song. I'm fighting to stay awake, focused. The figure gestures again, pointing ahead. Mile marker 66 approaches. My pulse thunders. In my ears, the blue truck accelerates, pulling alongside. I glance over. The driver's face pale, decayed, smiling. It's familiar somehow, like looking in a distorted mirror. Horror grips me tighter. I'm swerving away, tires screeching. 15 minutes later, another reveal. The blue truck isn't just following, it's mimicking my every move. When I signal, left, it does too. A game, cruel and endless. The smell shifts to sulfur, burning like hellfire nearby. My skin burns slightly, as if touched by invisible flames. I'm crying now, tears hot on my cheeks. The road feels alive, undulating under me. Memories change again. I see myself as a boy, drawing a blue truck, dated with tomorrow's date. Impossible. The figure nods, as if approving. I'm begging the night for mercy. None comes. 30 minutes more, mind bends further. I recall vanishing drivers before. Me, their stories match mine. The blue truck claims them at 66. My truck's dashboard flickers. Gauges spin wildly. The engine revs on its own. Terror consumes me. The scent of fear, my own sweat, tangy and sharp, is touching the dash. It's hot, scalding like fresh lava. Sounds merge into chaos rumble. Whispers, heartbeats. Mile 66 looms. The blue truck surges ahead, blocking me. I brake hard, screeching tires. It stops too. Doors creak open on their own. The figure steps out, approaching slowly. I'm frozen, watching. Reaches my door, hand on the handle. My scream echoes. The night engulfs everything, endless and unforgiving. I'm staring at the figure outside my door. Its hand twists the handle slowly. Shadows dance across its decayed face. The engine still runs hot. My breath fogs the glass. The desert wind howls louder now. I'm locking the door again. It clicks open anyway. The figure pauses, sighs, glow, faintly red. My heart pounds wildly. The blue truck idles behind it. Headlights pierce the night. I'm whispering prayers I don't believe in. The door swings wide. Cold air rushes in. It carries a chill that bites my skin. The figure steps closer. Its clothes hang in tatters. They look like remnants from a forgotten era. I'm scrambling back across the seat. My foot hits the gas pedal accidentally. The truck lurches forward. The figure grabs the frame. Its grip creaks the metal. I'm screaming. My voice sounds raw and desperate. No one hears me out here. 7 minutes drag on. Senses overwhelm me. The air smells of moldy earth. It feels damp and ancient. It's like opening a sealed tomb. My skin feels clammy. The figure's touch leaves a slimy residue on the door. It's pulling itself inside now. I'm kicking at it wildly. Its hand brushes my leg. Tact burns cold. Tact freezes like dry ice on flesh. The rumble of both engines merges into a symphony of dread. I'm veering the truck off the road. Dust kicks up around us. The figure holds on. It stays unyielding. Its face comes into view. Pale skin stretches tight over bones. Eyes sink deep. They stare into my soul. I'm recognizing something familiar. It looks like my father. He's twisted though. Dad died years ago. This can't be him. The blue truck follows. It bumps my rear. It feels insistent as a nightmare that won't fade. The desert terrain bounces us roughly. Cacti blur past in the headlights. Tia millowing the wheel. I steer blindly. The figure whispers my name. Mike. Its voice rasps like gravel scraping bone. My mind reels. I told my friends about this truck last night. They joked about ghosts on Route 66. Now it feels prophetic. Its figure lunges forward. Its breath reeks of decay. It's foul as rotting leaves in rain. 15 minutes into this chaos, the true horror unfolds. The figure isn't alone. Shadows shift in the blue truck's cab. More figures watch. They're multiplying. Or maybe always there. Okay. My truck stalls suddenly. The engine coughs and dies. Silence crashes down. It weighs heavier than the night itself. The figure smiles. Teeth look yellow and jagged. It grabs my arm. Pain shoots through me. It's electric, like a live wire spark. I'm fighting back. Nails scratch its flesh. It flakes off like old paper. The smell intensifies. Sulfur mixes with blood. My vision blurs from tears. The other figures emerge from the blue truck. They circle my vehicle slowly. Faces distort. They seem familiar, yet wrong. One looks like my mother. Another, my best friend. All dead or gone. I'm sobbing. This isn't real. Their touches feel too solid. The ground vibrates under us. The road seems to crack open nearby. Heat rises from fissures. It steams like breath from hell. I'm trying to restart the engine. It sputters weakly. The figures chant softly. Words come in an unknown tongue. Memories flicker. Driving this route as a child. Seeing the blue truck then. But I never did. The lead figure tightens its grip. My arm goes numb, feels lifeless as a puppet's limb dot. 30 minutes pass. My mind warps again. A memory alters. sharply. I recall crashing here before. Years ago, Atana. The blue truck pulled me from the wreckage. It saved me, or cursed me. Details flood in, signing a pact in blood. But that never happened. I'm gasping, confused. The figures nod in unison. Their eyes bore into me. They strip away my sanity, layer by layer. The air tastes metallic now. It's like licking rusted iron. My tongue swells slightly. Sounds amplify. The chants, the wind, my heartbeat. Everything throbs. The lead figure releases me suddenly. It points to the blue truck. I'm drawn to it. Legs move on their own. Door opens, invitingly. Side, the cab feels warmer. Deceptively safe, like a trap baited with honey. I'm climbing in against my will. The seat molds to my body. The dashboard glows eerily. Memories shift once more. I'm the driver now, have been for decades. The figures fade into seats around. Me, their passengers, or echoes. The engine roars to life. We're moving again. Back to Route 66. Mile marker 66 resets in my mind, looping eternally like a cursed reel. 7 minutes later, senses assault me anew. The leather seat sticks to my skin. It's tacky and warm, like flesh regenerating slowly. Whispers fill the cab, secrets from my past. I hear my own voice among them. The blue truck accelerates smoothly. Its headlights cut through fog that wasn't there before. I'm glancing in the mirror. My reflection stares back, but older, withered like the figures beside me. The desert smells of burning sage now, dualistic and ominous. My hands on the wheel feel foreign. Nails lengthen slightly, or maybe I imagine it. The passengers murmur approvals. One touches my shoulder. Chills race down my spine. Icy as winter's first frost. We're approaching another mile marker. It reads 66 again. Time bends here. 15 minutes on. Horror deepens. The blue truck isn't just a vehicle. It's alive, pulsing with energy. Veins throb under the dashboard. I feel its hunger for more drivers, more souls. The passengers feed it stories. Mine unfolds unwillingly. I'm reliving accidents I never had, crashes that claimed lives I cherished. The truck drinks them in. It's growing stronger with each tale. The air thickens with humidity. It's unnatural in the desert. Sweat beads on my forehead, salty and stinging. The wheel turns on its own sometimes. I'm losing control gradually. The lead figure, Dad's likeness, leans close. Join us, Mike, it hisses, breath hot against my ear, searing like embers from a dying fire. Resistance crumbles inside me. Memories change yet again at 30 minutes. I see myself summoning the truck as a teen. It's desperate for escape. The pact binds me now. Details crystallize. Blood on the road. Signatures in dust. I'm shaking, denying it. The passengers laugh softly. Their forms merge with the seats, becoming part of the truck's fabric. The scent shifts to fresh blood, coppery and vivid. My mouth waters involuntarily. Sounds of distant screams echo outside. Other drivers, perhaps. The truck hunts them too. We're passing abandoned vehicles. Now, doors open, engines running, just like mine will be soon. 7 minutes more. Sensory details peak. The dashboard lights flicker erratically, casting grotesque shadows. My skin itches unbearably. Crawling like insects under the surface, whispers turn to please. Voices of the trapped. I recognize some. Colleagues, family, were circling back to my truck. It sits empty, doors ajar. Engine hums faintly. The figures urge me out. I'm stepping down, legs heavy. The lead figure guides me. Your turn to wait, it says. Dawn approaches slowly. The curse resets. 15 minutes later, revelation strikes. I'm the blue truck's new guardian, trapped in this loop forever. The passengers were like me once. Now they fade into mist. The truck vanishes gradually, dissolving into the morning light. I'm left standing alone, but not truly. The air clears, but the taste lingers. Bitter regret. My hands tremble. Memories solidify in their altered state. I walk to my truck, climb in, drive on. But the blue truck waits inside me now. 30 minutes end. Mind twists, final time. I remember telling the story to friends, warning them. Don't slow down at 66. My voice echoes in my head. The road stretches ahead, inviting the next victim. The curse endures, unbreakable and eternal. I am unraveling the curse of the blue truck on Route 66. It traps me in echoes of my own vanishing. I am sitting in my truck at the edge of the rest stop. The engine is idling softly. Dawn is breaking over the horizon. Pink light is spilling across the desert. My hands are still shaking. The blue truck's memory lingers. I am wiping my eyes. Tears are drying on my cheeks. Colleagues are gathering around. Their faces look concerned. Mike, you okay? One asks. I am nodding slowly. Words are stuck in my throat. The air is warming up now. Birds are chirping faintly. I am stepping out. Legs feel unsteady. The ground is gritty under my boots. Dust is settling on everything. I am telling them bits of the story. The blue truck chased me again. At 66, they are exchanging glances. Some nod knowingly. Others laugh nervously. The warning spreads. Don't slow down back on the road by noon. Sun is beating down hard. The cab is heating up. I am turning on the AC. Cool air blasts out. It dries the sweat on my skin. Mile markers are passing again. 50, 51. My mind is replaying. The night. The figure's face haunts me. Dad's eyes in that decayed mask. I am shaking it off. Focus on the hall. Traffic is light today. A few cars zip by. I am sipping water from my bottle. It tastes flat and warm. The radio is playing old country tunes. They soothe me a little. But tension is building inside. Evening will come soon. Route 66 waits. The curse pulls like an invisible thread. 7 minutes into the drive, senses sharpen. The air carries a faint whiff of ozone. Smells like rain that's not falling. My fingers trace the wheel's texture. It's worn smooth from years of grip, like polished bone under my touch. The road hums beneath the tires. Vibrations travel up my spine. I am approaching mile 60 again. Shadows are lengthening as the sun dips. The desert turns golden, but dread is creeping in. Its mirrors show nothing unusual. Yet, my pulse quickens. The blue truck hides in plain sight. I am whispering the warning to myself. Don't slow down at 66. The horizon darkens slowly. Night is claiming the sky. Stars emerge, one by one. I am switching on headlights. Beams cut through the growing gloom. A coyote howls in the distance. It echoes lonely. CB crackles once, static, then silence. No voices tonight. 15 minutes pass, and horror reveals. A flicker in the rear view. Blue lights appear far back. A Tia materializes from nowhere. Its shape is sharper now, more defined. The grill twists into a sneer. I am gasping. It knows my route, matches every turn. The engine's growl reaches me, slow and persistent, like a stalking wolf. I am accelerating. The needle climbs to 70. Wind is whipping past the windows. It rattles the frame slightly. The blue truck gains anyway. Its presence weighs heavy, like an anchor dragging me back. I am glancing over. The cab holds that same silhouette, hunched, watching. Red eyes glint briefly. The desert air thickens. Dust swirls and eddies. I feel it coating my throat, dry and abrasive like swallowing sand. Memories stir uneasily. I recall warning a new driver last month, but now, in my mind, he vanished after. His truck found empty at 6:30 minutes in. My mind twists sharply. A memory changes. I see myself as the blue truck's driver long ago, hauling cursed cargo. Crashing at mile 66. The pact formed then. Blood on the asphalt. I am blinking hard. That never happened. Or did it? Confusion floods me. The road blurs. The blue truck pulls closer. Its bumper nearly kisses mine. I swerve right. It follows seamlessly. A game of mirrors. The figure inside waves again, mocking. My hands tremble. Sweat beads down my back. The cab feels smaller. Walls closing in. 7 more minutes. Sensory details intensify. The scent of aged wood fills the air. It's musty like an old attic's secrets. My seat creaks under me. Leather sticks to my thighs. Warm and clammy. Sounds amplify. The rumble vibrates through my chest like a second heartbeat. Mile 65 approaches. Tension peaks. The blue truck honks once, deep and resonant. It shakes my core. I am honking back, defiant, but fear grips tighter. The figure leans forward. Face presses against its window. Pale skin, hollow cheeks. It mouths words. Join us, Mike. I am flooring it again. Speed hits 80. The engine strains. Heat builds under the hood. The blue truck keeps up, effortless. Its lights pulse, hypnotic. Rhythm, drawing me in. I fight the pull. Grip the wheel harder. 15 minutes later, another reveal strikes. The blue truck isn't alone this time. Faint outlines of other vehicles trail it, ghostly rigs from past eras. They form a convoy, all cursed, all hunting. My breath catches. The road fills with their shadows. Its whispering engines blend into a chorus. Air tastes bitter now, like ashes from a dying fire. My tongue feels coated. The convoy closes in. Its bumpers gleam faintly. I weave desperately. They mirror every move. A pack closing on prey. Tears stream down my face. Hot and salty dot. Memories flicker. Altered one's surface. I warned my own father about this road. He ignored it. It's vanished at 66. His truck found running. Doors open. But Dad died differently. Or did he? The curse rewrites everything. 30 minutes more. Mind bends again. I recall becoming the curse myself. After a crash, I survived. The blue truck claimed my soul, trapped me in loops. Details sharpen, signing in blood under the moon. passengers were my family, now echoes. I gasp, deny it, but it feels true. The convoy surrounds me. Blue truck leads, others flank sides. Let faces stare out, faces twisted, familiar. Mom, friends, lost ones, they beckon silently. The road narrows impossibly. Desert presses close, cacti scrape the sides. Sparks fly. 7 minutes on. Senses overwhelm. It's the sound of scraping metal grates, loudly. It's piercing like nails on chalkboard. My skin crawls. Goosebumps rise. It's the air smells of scorched rubber, acrid and thick. It's touching the dash. It's fever hot, burning my fingertips. I am screaming into the night. Leave me alone. Echoes bounce back, mocking. The blue truck surges ahead, blocks the path at mile 66. I brake hard. Tires screech. Smoke rises. The convoy halts around me. Figures emerge. Slow, deliberate steps. The lead figure approaches. Dad's face clearer. Now, eyes plead and accuse. Your turn, Mike. His voice rasps. I lock doors. They unlock themselves. The handle turns. Its cold air invades. Hands reach in. It's pulling me out. 15 minutes into the standoff, horror deepens. The figures aren't ghosts. They're versions of me. From past loops, each one vanished at 66. They merge closer. Whispers overlap. Don't slow down. My own voice among them. I fight, kick and claw, but they overwhelm. The ground trembles. Fissures open. Heat escapes. Steaming vents. The blue truck absorbs the others, growing larger, pulsing with energy. I feel its hunger. For my story, my essence, resistance fades. They drag me toward it. Memories change one last time at 30 minutes. I see the curse's origin, a betrayal on this road that my ancestors started. It, blood debt, passed down, now mine to pay or break. But how? The figures push me into the cab. Seat engulfs me. Engine roars. The convoy dissolves, leaving me alone in the blue truck. Driving eternally, warning echoes in my mind. Don't slow down. But I can't speed up anymore. Trapped. The taste of eternal. Dust coats my mouth, gritty like sands of time that bury the unwary. I am shattering the eternal loop of the blue truck on Route 66. It pulls me into the void where warnings become whispers. I am driving the blue truck now. The wheel feels alive under my hands. It pulses gently. The dashboard glows with an eerie light. Shadows of passengers flicker beside me. They murmur softly. Their voices blend into the engine's hum. Route 66 stretches ahead, tendless and familiar. Mile markers repeat in my mind. 66. The desert night envelopes us. Stars watch from above. It's cold and indifferent. The cab smells of faded memories. I am glancing at the mirrors. My reflection stares back. Older, withered, eyes hollow like the figures around me. The road rumbles beneath. Tires grip the asphalt tightly. I am trying to remember my old life. Mike Jenkins, trucker, hauling loads across states, but details fade, replaced by the curse's grip. Wind whistles through a crack in the window. Trace. It carries dust that stings my face. Tay, I am accelerating. The blue truck responds eagerly. Speed climbs without effort. The passengers nod approvingly. One touches my shoulder. Its hand feels bony and cold. It's like grasping winter branches. 7 minutes slip by. Senses heighten as the air tastes of salt and regret. It's sharp on my tongue, like tears dried in the sun. The seat's fabric clings to my skin, rough and unyielding. Sounds echo inside. Whispers grow clearer. Drive on, Mike. Forever. I am approaching what feels like mile 66 again. The loop tightens. Headlights pierce the darkness, revealing cracked pavement ahead. My mind races. Breaking free seems impossible, but a spark ignites. The warning echoes. Don't slow down. What if I do? Defy it completely. The passengers sense my doubt. They stir uneasily. Faces twist in the dim light. I am gripping the wheel harder. Knuckles ache. The engine growls in protest, as if alive and angry. Desert winds howl louder, pushing against the truck. 15 minutes in, horror unveils sharply. The blue truck's frame begins to crack, its faint lines spiderweb across the metal, like veins bursting under pressure. The passengers scream silently. Tade. Their forms dissolve into mist. I feel the curse weakening, or is it strengthening? The T. My hands burn on the wheel. Its blisters form instantly. I am slamming the brakes. The truck screeches. Tires smoke and skid. The loop fights back. Mile 66 warps around me, repeating faster. Ground shakes violently. Fissures open nearby. Heat rises in waves. The air thickens with sulfur. Stinging my eyes. Memories assault me. Altered ones from before. I see the curse's birth, the crash in the 1950s. Drivers trapped in eternal chase. Their blood seals the pact. But now, in my mind, a way out glimmers. Stop at 66. Face it head on. 30 minutes pass, and my mind shifts profoundly. A new memory emerges. I recall a hidden ritual, whispered by an old trucker years ago. Break the loop by claiming the wheel, then abandon it at dawn. But the passengers claw at me. Their touches leave icy burns. Confusion swirls. Is this real? Or another trick? The blue truck lurches. Dashboard lights flicker wildly. Gauges spin out of control. Deuterium steering toward the shoulder. Gravel crunches under tires. The vehicle resists, pulling back to the road. I fight it. Muscles strain. Sweat pours down my face. 7 more minutes. Sensory waves crash. The scent of burning wiring fills the cab, acrid and choking, like a fire smoldering in hidden wires. My throat tightens. Coughs rack my body. The cubia wheel vibrates fiercely, numbing my palms. Sounds amplify. Metal groans. Passengers wail faintly. I am forcing the door open. It creaks against the wind, stepping out into the night. Legs wobble. The blue truck idles menacingly. Its headlights glare, accusing. The passengers reform inside, beckoning me back, putting me back. I turn away, walking toward mile marker 66. The desert floor feels uneven. Sand shifts underfoot. It's like walking on sinking ground. Dawn hints on the horizon. Gray light creeps in. I am whispering the warning aloud. If you see the blue truck at 66, don't slow down. But I did. And now, the curse unravels. 15 minutes later, the reveal deepens. The blue truck starts to fade. Its form shimmers like a mirage. Pieces dissolve into dust. Passengers reach out desperately. Their screams echo in my ears. Piercing and final, I feel the loop breaking. Freedom tastes near, but pain surges through me. like roots tearing from soil. I am collapsing to my knees. The marker stands before me, etched with faded numbers. 66. Wind swirls around, carrying whispers of past victims. They thank me faintly, or curse me. My body weakens. Energy drains away. The truck's remnants swirl into a vortex, pulling at my clothes. Memories flood back, unaltered now. My life as Mike, the chases, the warnings, shared, colleagues finding my truck empty, engine running, doors open. It all connects. The curse transfers T, but I resist, clinging to the ground. 30 minutes more, mine transforms one last time. I see the full truth. The curse doesn't end, evolves. By stopping, I become the new guardian. It's not in the truck, but in the legend. My story spreads. Warning drivers, forever. Immortality entails. The vortex intensifies. Swallowing the blue truck hole, dawn breaks fully. Sunlight bathes the road. The truck vanishes completely, leaving only echoes. I am rising slowly. Body aches everywhere. My own truck sits nearby, doors ajar, engine humming, just as the stories say. 7 minutes on, senses clarify. The air smells fresh now, like morning dew on sage, clean and renewing. My skin tingles with warmth. Sun touches it gently. Sounds of distant traffic approach. Normalcy returns. But the warning lingers in my mind. I am climbing into my truck, closing the doors. They lock securely, engine revs under my control. Driving away from 66, the road straightens. Desert blooms in the light. Colleagues will hear my tale. The curse of Route 66, transformed into legend. 15 minutes into the escape, final horror emerges. A blue tint flickers in my mirror. Faint, but there. The curse clings. Not gone, just hidden, waiting for the next slowdown. Faster now. The warning echoes eternally. Among truckers, Matisse, if you see the blue truck at mile 66, don't slow down, ever. I am part of it now. In the telling dot, 30 minutes end the journey. Mind settles. Memories stabilize. The loop broken for me. Taya, but the road claims others. I pull into a stop. Safe. For now. The sound of fading whispers lingers in my ears, soft like echoes from a grave that never fully closes. Shadow of the wooden bridge. I am spotting a dangling shadow on Ohio's wooden bridge. It echoes my truck in endless duplicates. I am driving my rig through the rural backroads of Ohio. The night is thick with fog. My headlights are piercing the mist. The engine hums steadily. Trees line the sides like silent watchers. I am sipping lukewarm coffee. It tastes bitter and old. The clock reads 2:45 a.m. No other vehicles pass. I am alone on this stretch. The road twists gently. I am approaching the old wooden bridge. Spans a narrow river below. Locals talk about it sometimes. Haunted, they say. I am shaking my head. Just stories. My CB radio crackles faintly. Static fills the cab. I adjust the dial. Nothing but noise. Fog thickens around me. Visibility drops low. I am slowing down slightly. The bridge creaks under the weight. Wooden planks groan. My tires rumble over them as the river rushes below. Dark and swift. I am glancing down. Its water looks black as ink. A shape catches my eye. Something dangles from the bridge's side, long and thin, like a shadow stretching unnaturally. I am squinting hard. It sways gently in the breeze. Ta. My heart beats faster. Ta. What is that? The cab feels colder suddenly. 7 minutes tick by. The air carries a damp chill. It smells of wet earth and decay. It's like moldy leaves underfoot. My hands grip the wheel tighter. Leather feels slick with sweat. The dangling shadow twists slowly. It seems to lengthen as I watch. I am crossing the bridge now. The structure shakes lightly. Beams overhead loom dark. The shadow follows my movement. Or does it? I am checking the mirrors. Nothing behind, but unease builds inside me. The engine's hum echoes strangely, bouncing off the wood. Fog swirls thicker. I am emerging on the other side. Relief washes over briefly, but the shadow lingers in my mind, tall and ominous. Like a noose, waiting. I am accelerating again. The road straightens out. Fields stretch on both sides. 15 minutes pass, and horror reveals itself. A duplicate light flickers in the rear view. Another truck appears far back. It looks just like mine. Same color, same rig. My pulse races wildly. How is that possible? The duplicate gains speed, matching my pace exactly. I am grabbing the CB. Mike, anyone out there? Seeing a truck tailing me near the wooden bridge. Static hisses back. No voices respond. The duplicate's headlights grow brighter. Piercing through the fog, I feel its presence pressing, like a weight on my chest. The river's sound fades behind, but a new noise emerges, low creaking, like wood straining under load. My cab vibrates. Faintly, I am wiping fog from the windshield. The duplicate draws closer. Its outline sharpens. Identical license plate gleams. Mine. Memories stir uneasily. I recall crossing this bridge before. But something feels off. The shadow wasn't there last time. Or was it? Doubt creeps in. The duplicate honks once. The blast echoes through the night. My bones shiver. 30 minutes in, my mind twists suddenly. A memory changes. I see myself driving this route yesterday. But now, in my head, 2 trucks crossed the bridge. Both mine. Confusion floods me. That didn't happen. The road ahead blurs slightly. Mile markers repeat oddly. 12, then 12 again. The duplicate pulls alongside. Its windows tint dark. No driver visible. Yet it steers perfectly. Sporning left. It mirrors the move. A perfect echo. Its panic rises in my throat. I floor the gas. Speed climbs to 65. The duplicate keeps up effortlessly. 7 more minutes. Heightened senses. The air tastes metallic now. Sharp like rust on my tongue. The steering wheel's texture roughens. Gripping like splintered wood under palms. Sounds amplify. The creaking grows louder, coming from everywhere. I am glancing over. The duplicate's door creaks open slightly. A shadow dangles inside, long and thin. Just like on the bridge, my breath catches. It sways toward me. Reaching across the gap, I veer away sharply. Tires screech on pavement. The fog lifts a bit, revealing more road ahead. But the duplicate vanishes suddenly. It's gone in an instant. I exhale slowly, heart pounding still. Was it real? My hands tremble. The CB static bursts again. A faint voice. Shadow. Bridge. Then silence. 15 minutes later, another reveal strikes. Lights appear behind once more. Not one truck, but two duplicates now, both identical to mine. They weave in formation, honking in unison. The sound pierces my ears, echoing like a warning multiplied. I am weaving through lanes. The duplicates follow seamlessly. Their shadows stretch long on the road, merging with mine. The bridge feels distant, but its presence haunts. Its wooden creaks fill my cab, as if the structure travels with me. The river's scent returns, damp and murky, seeping through vents. My skin prickles with cold, like icy water rising. Memories flicker, altered slightly. I told a buddy about this route last week, but now he warned me instead about shadows that duplicate. 30 minutes. More. Mind bends again. A deep change hits. I recall crashing here before. Trucks sinking in the river. Clock stopping at 3:07 a.m. But I'm alive. Driving now. Terror grips me. The duplicates close in, bumping my rear lightly, jostling the cab. 7 minutes on. Sensory details overwhelm. The sound of rushing water echoes faintly, growing louder though miles away. My seat feels damp, soaking through clothes like river spray. The air smells of algae and rot, thick and cloying. I am shouting into the CB. Help. Duplicates chasing me after the bridge. Static laughs back. It's distorted and mocking. The duplicates multiply. Now 3. Lights. Blinding in mirrors. They surround me, forcing me to slow. The road curves toward another bridge. Smaller, but wooden too. Shadows dangle from its sides. Long and numerous. My truck shudders. Engine stutters briefly. I push forward, but the duplicates block paths, herding me toward the edge. 15 minutes into the chase, horror deepens. The duplicates' cabs light up. Each shows a figure inside. Me, driving, faces pale and expressionless. They turn heads in unison, staring directly at me. My stomach knots. Copies of myself. This echoes. I am slamming the brakes. The rig skids. Duplicates mimic perfectly, stopping inches away. Fog rolls in heavy, obscuring everything. A long shadow descends from above, dangling over my hood, touches the metal. Cold seeps through. Traits, memories. Warp further at 30 minutes. I see 5 trucks now. It's all mine. Crossing tolls after my disappearance. Records show it, whether I'm here. It's vanishing in loops. The shadow wraps around, pulling gently toward the river below. 7 minutes later, senses peak. The touch of the shadow feels silky, yet binding, like cobwebs tightening on skin. Whispers fill the air. Join us at 3:07. My clock ticks closer. Approaching that time, I am fighting the pull, revving the engine, breaking free momentarily. Duplicates fade one by one, but the shadow lingers, stretching longer. The bridge looms ahead again, wooden and waiting. The night presses on. Fog hides secrets. I drive faster, but echoes follow. The curse of the shadow awakens fully. The scent of river mud clings to everything, heavy like forgotten drownings that surface in the dark. I am facing echoes of my submerged truck under Ohio's wooden bridge. They multiply in the fog that hides my vanishing. I am pulling away from the small bridge. The engine roars back to life. The cog clings to the windows. A cog still tremble on the wheel. The duplicates have faded, but their lights linger in my mind, like ghosts refusing to dim. The clock ticks to 3 a.m. 7 minutes from the cursed time. I am accelerating hard. The road winds through dense woods. Trees blur past in the headlights. The night feels heavier now. Branches scrape the truck's sides occasionally, sharp and insistent. I am checking the mirrors constantly. Empty road behind. Relief creeps in slowly. But doubt nags at me. The shadow's touch still chills my skin. I am rubbing my arms. Goosebumps rise stubbornly. Fog thickens ahead, swallowing the path. I am slowing just a bit. Headlights reflect. Back. Blinding white. The CB radio hisses again. Static crackles louder. A voice breaks through faintly. Robert. Shadow. Coming. My name. How? I am grabbing the mic. Who is this? Identify. Silence follows. Tonley. Buzzing. The wooden bridge looms in memory. Its creaks echo in my ears. I am shaking my head. Focus on driving. The river's distant rush grows audible, swelling unnaturally, as if drawing closer. Fields give way to more trees. The air cools further. Mist seeps through vents. 7 minutes pass. Senses sharpen intensely. The fog carries a musty scent. Kate, like old wood rotting in rain. Kate, my fingers feel numb on the wheel. Cold seeps into bones like icy fingers, probing. Sounds of dripping water echo faintly. Drip from nowhere. I am navigating a curve. The road dips slightly. Another bridge appears ahead. Not the same one, but similar. Wooden planks, aged and weathered. My heart skips. Shadows dangle from its rails, long and swaying. Multiple now. They twist in the wind, reaching downward. I am hesitating at the approach. The truck rumbles over the threshold. Planks groan under weight. The shadows brush the hood. Silky touches. I am swatting at nothing. Panic builds. The river below churns louder. Dark water foams white, merging on the other side. But the shadows follow, stretching along the road. My shadow merges with them, elongating impossibly. I am glancing down. A pull's at my feet, tugging gently toward the edge. 15 minutes in, horror reveals starkly. Lights flicker behind. Again, not one duplicate, but 3 now. All identical trucks. Same plate, same rig. They emerge from the fog, honking in sync. The blasts shake my cab, echoing like a funeral march. A triumph flooring the accelerator. Speed hits 70. The duplicates match effortlessly, weaving closer. One pulls alongside. Its window rolls down slowly. A face stares out. Mine, pale and hollow-eyed. It mouths words silently. Join us. My blood runs cold. The fog densifies. Visibility drops to yards. I am honking back. Desperate blasts. The duplicates respond in chorus. Surround sound of dread. The shadows on the road multiply, dangling from invisible points. They snag at tires, slowing me subtly. Memories flicker uneasily. I recall reporting a shadow last week. But now, in my mind, I saw duplicates then too. Unreported. Fear kept me silent. The CB bursts alive. 5 trucks. Its same plate. After you vanish. The voice distorts. Laughing. I am switching it off. Hands shake. 30 minutes tick by. My mind twists profoundly. A memory alters sharply. I see my truck submerging before, clock stopping at 3:07, but I'm watching from the bridge, dangling as a shadow. Confusion overwhelms. They can't be. The road loops back toward the original bridge. The duplicates bump my sides, gentle nudges, hurting me. Fog swirls like a living thing. Wrapping around, the river's roar intensifies. Close now, too close. I am fighting the wheel. It resists, pulling toward the water. 7 more minutes heighten everything. The air tastes of brackish water, salty and foul like swallowing river murk. My clothes feel damp, clinging wetly as if already soaked. Creaking wood sounds everywhere, like the bridge collapsing inward. I am spotting the main wooden bridge ahead. Shadows dangle thickly, dozens now. They form a curtain, blocking the path. The duplicates push from behind, forcing me forward. One shadow latches onto my mirror, twisting it. Reflection shows my face, distorted and screaming. I am swerving wildly. The rig sways dangerously. Its tires skid on wet pavement. A duplicate clips my bumper. Sparks fly. Metal grinds harshly. The shadow pulls harder, dragging the truck sideways toward the rail. 15 minutes later, the reveal deepens. The duplicates aren't just copies. They're past versions of me. Each one vanished at 3:07, trapped in loops, their clocks all frozen. They drive eternally, chasing the next echo. My echo. Horror sinks in. I'm the latest. The bridge approaches fast. Planks rattle under tires. Shadows envelop the cab, darkening everything. I am pounding the horn. A teat blares futilely. A tase. The duplicates enter the bridge. 2, surrounding completely. Their engines sync with mine. A unified growl. The river below boils. Waves crash against supports. Water sprays up, sting the windows. My skin burns with cold, like frostbite from depths. Its memories assault, altered fragments. I warned myself in a dream, ignored it, now paying it. 30 minutes more, mind bends. Again, a massive shift occurs. I recall 5 disappearances, all me. Trucks with my plate passing tolls. Records prove it. But I'm the original, or am I the cursed duplicate souls, sinking them one by one? Terror peaks. The clock nears 3:07. 7 minutes on. Sensory overload hits. The sound of splintering wood cracks loudly, echoing like bones breaking. My seat vibrates violently, shaking my core. The scent of algae overwhelms. It's thick like drowning in green. Slime. Shadows wrap around the truck, pulling downward. The rail buckles ahead. I am braking hard. Tires lock. Smoke rises. But momentum carries me toward the edge. Duplicates follow, diving in unison. The clock hits 3:07. Time freezes. The truck tips over. River rushes up. Cold water engulfs. Shadows drag me under. Bubbles rise. Darkness claims everything. But I surface in fog. Driving again. The loop resets. Duplicates multiply. Endless chase. 15 minutes into the submersion. Horror evolves. I'm not drowning, floating in shadows. Watching my truck sink 5 times over. Each duplicate sinks too. Records log them passing, post-vanishing. The curse feeds on echoes. I am clawing back to the surface, gasping air. The bridge stands intact. My truck floats nearby, just merged halfway. Gin stalls. Clock stuck at 3:07. Memories stabilize briefly, but alter once more at 30 minutes. I see escape. break the loop by destroying a shadow. But which? They all dangle, mocking. The night continues. Fog hides the truth. I climb out, wet and shivering. The duplicates wait below. In the river's depths, the texture of dripping water clings to my skin, cold like chains from a bridge that never lets go. I am drowning in shadows under Ohio's wooden bridge. They duplicate my screams in the river's depths. I am climbing from the river's edge. Water drips from my clothes. The cold bites deep into my skin. My truck sits half submerged, gin silent. Now, the bridge looms above. Wooden planks drip steadily. Fog rolls off the water, thick and oppressive. My breaths come in gasps. Lungs burn from the chill. Shadows dangle from the rails. It's longer now. They sway mockingly. The night presses close. Stars hide behind clouds. I am stumbling toward the road. Feet sink into mud, slippery and sucking. The duplicate's lights flicker. Below the surface, bubbling up faintly. Like eyes watching from depths, I am whispering to myself, get away, break the loop. But doubt whispers back. Fog envelops me fully. Visibility fades to arm's length. I am feeling my way forward. Hands brush wet grass. The river's rush echoes louder, swelling unnaturally, as if calling me back. My CB radio lies somewhere in the truck. Useless now. No signals here. 7 minutes drag on. Senses assault me. The air smells of stagnant water. It's murky like forgotten ponds breeding secrets. My skin feels prickly. Dampness seeps through pores like invading tendrils. Sounds of dripping amplify. Each drop hits like a hammer on wood. I am reaching the bridge's base. Supports creak under invisible strain. Shadows brush my shoulders, silky and binding. I swat them away. They recoil briefly, then stretch longer. One wraps around my ankle, tugging gently toward the water. Panic surges. I kick free. Run blindly. The road appears through mist. Pavement gleams wetly. I am sprinting now. Legs ache from cold, but the shadows follow, stretching along the ground. Duplicating my own, multiple versions trail me. Each one, darker, hungrier. 15 minutes in, horror unveils brutally. Lights emerge from the fog behind. Not trucks this time. Shadowy figures, tall and thin, dangling from nothing. They move like puppets on strings. Mimicking my strides, their forms duplicate. 2, then 4, echoing my every step. Silent screams distort their faces. Mine, I am veering off the road, into woods. Branches snag my jacket, tearing fabric. The figures follow seamlessly, gliding through trees. No sound from them, only my footsteps crunch leaves. The river's roar fades slightly, but a new creaking starts, like the bridge pursuing me. Fog thins in patches, reeling. More woods ahead. I am glancing back. The shadowy duplicates close in. One reaches out. Its touch grazes my arm. Icy burn spreads, numbing the limb, like frost claiming flesh. Memories stir. I recall the first shadow on the bridge, but now it feels like I've seen them forever, looping. Through nights, the figures whisper faintly. 3:07. Join. My clock is gone. The time ticks in my head. Approaching that hour again. 30 minutes pass. My mind twists sharply. A memory changes. I see myself as one of them, dangling from the bridge years ago, truck sinking below. Duplicates logging passages, but I escaped once, or did I? Confusion blurs reality. The woods spin, trees duplicate too, endless echoes. The shadowy figures surround me, forming a circle. Their dangling forms sway. Pulling at the air, I feel lighter, as if lifting off ground, toward invisible rails. I am fighting it, grabbing a tree trunk. Bark digs into palms, rough and grounding. 7 more minutes intensify everything. The scent of pine resin mixes with rot, sharp yet decaying like wounds in old wood. My breaths come ragged, chest tightens with each inhale. The figure's touches multiply. Cold spots bloom on my skin, like bruises from unseen hands. I am breaking through the circle, running deeper into woods. Branches whip my face. Cuts open. Blood trickles warm, contrasting the cold. The tossed figures pursue, stretching longer. Their shadows merge with mine, creating hybrids. Half me, half void. A clearing appears. Its moonlight filters down, illuminating a small stream. Into the river. Shadows dangle over it. Miniature versions. They writhe like worms. I am jumping across. Water splashes up, freezing ankles. 15 minutes later, the reveal deepens. The figures aren't just echoes. They're trapped souls. It's past drivers who crossed at 307. Their trucks duplicated, sunk repeatedly. A tent, the next. Me, to add to the chain. Okay, their whispers confirm. It names I recognize from old stories. I'm collapsing against a tree. Exhaustion hits hard, and the figures hover close. One leans in. Face morphs to mine. Eyes plead silently. Did destroy the bridge. But how? Wood creaks overhead, as if the structure extends here. The stream bubbles louder. Water rises suddenly, flooding the clearing. Shadows swim within, duplicating in ripples. They pull at my legs, dragging downward. I am scrambling up, climbing the tree. Branches hold barely. Memories assault again, altered fragments. I warned authorities about shadows, but now they ignored me. Logged 5 trucks instead. Mine. Post-disappearance. The curse manipulates. Records. Erasing truths. 30 minutes more. Mind bends profoundly. A massive shift occurs. I recall the bridge's origin. Built over a cursed crossing. First driver dangled himself. Sinking rigs eternally. But a weakness glimmers. Burn the wood at 307. Break the loop. The figures sense it. They swarm the tree, shaking branches, wood splinters. I am holding on. Fingers bleed. The water rises higher. Lapping at the trunk, cold seeps up, numbing toes. 7 minutes on. Sensory overload peaks. The sound of cracking branches echoes sharply, like bones snapping in rhythm. My mouth tastes of blood and bark. It's bitter and woody. Skin crawls with invisible insects. Itchy trails from shadow touches. I am dropping from the tree, landing in shallow. Water, splashing through, toward the road again. Figures chase, stretching to block paths. I dodge them, running full tilt. The bridge calls, creaking louder, drawing me back. 15 minutes into the pursuit, horror evolves. The shadowy duplicates merge, forming a massive entity, a colossal shadow. Dangling from the sky itself, it descends slowly. Enveloping the woods, darkness spreads, swallowing light. My screams, duplicate, echoing back, multiplied. I am bursting onto the road, the bridge visible now, my truck still half sunk. The colossal shadow looms over it, pulling it deeper. Water churns violently, bubbles burst with whispers. 3:07. Now, the clock, in my mind, strikes. Time freezes again. The shadow wraps around me, lifting, dangling me over the river. Duplicates rise from depths. Trucks surface, all mine. Honking in chaos, memories warp one last time at 30 minutes. I see the full curse. It feeds on fear, duplicating until 5, then resets. But burning one shadow could chain react. Team, I am reaching for my lighter. From pocket, flame flickers weakly. The colossal shadow tightens. Squeezing breath, I flick the lighter. Touch a dangling tendril. It ignites. Sparks spread. Figures wail. Duplicating screams fill the air. The bridge catches fire. Wood crackles. Shadows burn. But the loop fights, pulling me under. Water rises. Cold embrace. 7 minutes later, senses clarify amid chaos. The heat of flames contrasts the cold, sticks in my face like a brand. Smoke chokes lungs, acrid and thick. The colossal shadow fragments, pieces dangle wildly, burning away. I am falling into the river, splashing down. Current pulls, but flames light the way. Cades sink one by one. The cados dissolve in firelight. The bridge collapses partially. Planks splash nearby. 15 minutes on, final reveal strikes. The curse isn't broken, just weakened. Shadows retreat to depths, waiting for repairs. For the next driver at 3:07, my escape is temporary. But knowledge burns in me. Warn others. I am swimming to shore, gasping air. The fire dies slowly. Fog lifts. Dawn hints. Memories settle. It's unaltered for now. I stagger away toward help, but echoes linger. 30 minutes end the ordeal. Mind stabilizes. The loop pauses. I reach a phone, report it, but records will duplicate. The shadow endures. The sound of crackling embers fades in my ears, lingering, like warnings etched in smoke that never fully clears. I am igniting the final flames under Ohio's wooden bridge. They consume the shadows that bind my duplicated fate. I am crawling from the river's grasp. Flames flicker on the collapsing bridge above. Smoke billows thickly. The heat warms my soaked skin, contrasting the cold depths below. Shadows writhe in the firelight, shrinking and duplicating wildly, decaying serpents. My breaths come ragged. Coughs rack my chest from inhaled smoke. The night sky lightens faintly. Dawn approaches slowly. The bridge groans loudly. Planks snap and fall, splashing into the water. Duplicates of my truck bob in the current. Sinking one by one, their lights dim. Engines gurgle to silence. I am staggering to my feet. Mud clings to my boots, heavy and sucking. The colossal shadow fragments further. Pieces dangle helplessly, burning away. Fog retreats gradually, revealing the devastation. Charred wood smokes on the banks. I am moving toward the road, legs weak but determined. The curse feels fractured, but whispers echo in my ears. It's faint and persistent. 3:07 returns. My mind races. Is it truly over? or just paused. 7 minutes slip away, success heightened sharply. The air tastes of ash and char, bitter like swallowed embers from a funeral pyre. My hands sting from cuts. Rough bark residue grates under nails. Sounds of crackling fire pop erratically, echoing through the woods. I am reaching the pavement. Feels solid underfoot. It's reassuring after the mud, but shadows linger on the edges. Thin remnants dangle from trees. Watching silently, I am quickening my pace, heading away from the bridge, toward a distant town. Help waits there, or so I hope. The river's rush quiets behind me, replaced by morning birdsong, tentative and out of place. My clothes dry slowly, stiffening with dried mud. The colossal shadows. Wail fades, but a pull tugs at my core, urging me back. 15 minutes in, horror reveals mercilessly. The remnants reform. Not as shadows, but as ethereal trucks. Ghostly duplicates rise from the river, 5 of them, all bearing my plate. They drive silently on the water's surface, chasing me along the bank. Their headlights pierce the dawn, blinding and accusatory. I am running now. Pavement pounds under my feet. The ghost trucks gain, phasing through obstacles. One clips a tree, wood splinters without sound. Their cabs hold figures. Me, again, faces twisted in agony, mouthing pleas. Burn us, free us, but flames die out behind. The bridge still stands partially, unbroken. Fog rolls back in patches, obscuring the path. Coast duplicates honk ethereally. The sound vibrates in my bones, hollow and endless. I veer into a field. Tall grass whips my legs, slowing me. The trucks follow, gliding over terrain. Memories flicker. I recall the burning worked temporarily, but now doubt creeps. The curse adapts, duplicating beyond shadows, caned vehicles that haunt eternally. 30 minutes pass. My mind shifts profoundly. The memory alters deeply. I see the curse's core. Not the bridge, but the river itself. It duplicates everything touching it at 3:07. Trucks, shadows, souls. Burning the wood only scatters it. At 2. End it. Drown the original shadow. My own. From the first crossing. Confusion overwhelms. How? I'm the original. The ghost trucks surround me in the field, forming a ring. Their engines hum in unison, a droning chant. I feel my body lighten, duplicating faintly. Echoes of myself shimmer beside me. Tail copies. They reach out. Merging touches numb my limbs. 7 more minutes intensify the assault, but the scent of wet earth rises strongly, clammy like graves opening after rain. My skin crawls with static, prickling like pins from invisible needles. Whispers amplify, overlapping voices. All mine. Sync. Duplicate. Forever. I am breaking free from the ring. Charging back toward the river. Grass tears at my ankles. The ghost trucks pursue, bumping ethereal bumpers. Jolts pass through me. It's like electric shocks from beyond. The bridge smolders ahead, charred but standing. Shadows dangle anew, regrown. Dawn's light strengthens, casting long shadows of my own. They duplicate on the ground, strushing toward the water. I am diving into the river. Its cold shocks my system. Currents pull strongly toward the bridge's base. It's 15 minutes later. The reveal deepens fatally. The ghost trucks submerge too, transforming into aquatic shadows. They swim like eels, circling me underwater. Their plates glow faintly, 5 identical, each one a past vanishing. They drag me deeper. Bubbles escape my lips, duplicating my screams into muffled echoes. I am fighting the current, swimming toward a dark mass below. The original shadow is coiled at the riverbed. It pulses with curse energy, feeding the duplicates. My lungs burn. Vision blurs in murky water. The shadow reaches up, wrapping tendrils around me. Memories assault. Altered visions. I see drivers before me, trying the same, failing, duplicating into the 5. Records logging their passages. Post-death, the curse immortalizes them in endless logs. 30 minutes more, mind bends one last time. A climactic twist hits. I recall my first crossing. As a boy, seeing the shadow, ignoring it, that birthed the curse in me. To break it, sacrifice the original echo. Myself, clarity surges. I embrace the shadow, letting it duplicate me fully. The tendrils tighten, duplicating my form. 5 Roberts now, struggling in the depths, a tie focus, directing the duplicates to attack the core. They swarm it, staring with ethereal hands. The original shadow shreds, leasing bursts of light. Bubbles explode upward. 7 minutes on, senses overwhelm in chaos. The water tastes of rust and release, metallic like blood dissolving in flow. Pressure builds in my ears, popping sharply like corks from drowned bottles. My body feels weightless, floating amid fragments to ghost trucks, dissolve, come sinking as wreckage. The river calms suddenly, currents ease. I am surfacing, gasping air. Dawn breaks fully. Sunlight warms the surface. Shadows vanish completely. No danglers on the bridge remnants. I am swimming to shore, collapsing on mud. Exhaustion claims me. But freedom pulses. The loop shatters. Memories untwist. True ones return. My disappearance averted. Truck salvaged later. Records corrected. No duplicates logged. 15 minutes into recovery. Final horror lingers. A faint shadow dangles in my peripheral. Not real, just echo of trauma. The curse broken, but scars remain. Warning spreads. Walking to town. Sirens approach. Help arrives. Colleagues hear my tale. The shadow of the wooden bridge. Faded, but remembered. 30 minutes end the saga. Mind heals. The river flows clean. No more echoes. I drive on, but glance back always. The warmth of rising sun touches my skin. Gentle like forgiveness from depths that finally release their hold. Call of the dead. I am receiving a ghostly call on my CB radio. It echoes from a trucker lost 20 years ago, warning of the red light that seals fates. I am hauling freight through the foggy highways of West Virginia. The night is deep and misty. My headlights cut through the haze. The engine rumbles steadily. Coal country surrounds me. Dark hills loom like sleeping giants. I am Emma Davis, long-haul trucker. The clock reads 11:30 p.m. My coffee steams in the cup. Holder hot and strong, sipping it warms my throat. The road winds uphill. Curves sharp and treacherous. The CB radio sits silent. I am tuning it idly. Static fills the cab. It's crackling like distant thunder. No chatter tonight. Unusual for these parts. Fog thickens ahead, swallowing the asphalt. I am slowing. Slightly visibility drops low. Trees blur into shadows. The air feels heavy pressing in. A voice breaks through, suddenly gravelly and faint. Breaker, breaker. This is Coal Hauler 7. Watch for the red light. Teague calls you in. My heart skips. The voice sounds old, echoey, like from a bad recording. I am grabbing the mic. This is Emma D. Who is this? Over. Static surges then. It's coming. Red light. Crash. A violent impact sound blasts through metal, crunching, then silence, dead air. I am staring at the radio. Chills run down my spine. That voice familiar from old stories. A driver vanished 20 years ago. Never found. I am shaking it off. Prank, maybe. But unease settles the fog, glows faintly ahead, reddish tint. No. Just imagination. 7 minutes ticked by, senses sharp in the air, carries a sooty scent, dusty like coal dust. Settling, it tickles my nose, irritating my hands on the wheel feel gritty as if fine powder coats, the leather sounds of distant echoes. Faint crashes repeating in my mind, the road levels out, passing an old mine entrance. Boarded up warnings posted. I am glancing over, shadows shift inside unnatural, the radio hisses again. No voice, just breathing, labored and raspy. I switch it off. Heart pounds faster, the truck's cab feels smaller. Walls closing, subtly fog lifts a bit, revealing more highway, but a red light flickers far ahead. Cannot a signal, something else glowing ominously like a beacon in the mist. I am accelerating, curiosity pulls me. Or is it something more? 15 minutes pass, horror reveals itself. The radio bursts on its own, the same voice, Emma. Don't follow the red light. It's the call of the dead. Static warps it. Then another crash sound louder, echoing in the cab. I slam the power button, it stays on. Volume rises, turn back. Coal dust claims you. I am swerving, slightly panic. Rising, the red light grows. It's brighter, pulsing now. Drawing me in, the road narrows, hills press close. A faint dusting appears on my dashboard. Black powder, coal dust. I brush it away. It smears, staining my fingers. The voice loops, repeating the warning red light. Crash. Silence. My mirrors show nothing behind, but a presence feels there watching. The engine stutters briefly. As if hesitant, I floor it. Speed climbs to 60. The light holds steady, unmoving, yet closer memories stir. I recall hearing about that lost driver crashed into a mine truck buried in collapse, but now details feel off, like I've heard his call before tonight. It's no impossible 30 minutes in my mind, twists suddenly a memory. Changes, I see myself as a kid riding with Dad on this route. A red light appeared, he ignored it, vanished that night, but Dad's alive, or is he? Confusion floods the road, blurs, signs repeat, mile 47, then 47 again. The red light resolves into a shape, an old traffic signal. No, it's hovering unattached, pulsing red like a warning from hell. Coal dust thickens in the cab, coating the seat. I cough, throat dry and scratchy. 7 more minutes. Heightened senses, the dust tastes acrid, now bitter like charred earth on my tongue. The seat's fabric feels powdery, slipping under me like shifting sand. Sounds of faint whispers join the static, names of lost drivers, including mine. I am approaching the light. It hangs over an abandoned mine road, tempting a detour. The voice pleads, "Don't." The dead call. Crash sound repeats, vibrating the truck. I veer away, stick to the highway, but the light follows. Shifting position, always ahead. The cab fills with more dust, swirling in air currents. I wipe my eyes. Stinging visibility inside drops like driving in a dust storm. The radio laughs, distorted and ghostly. 15 minutes later, another reveal strikes. The red light isn't alone. Multiple glows appear, duplicating each one. Calling silently, the voice multiplies to overlapping warnings. Red light. Crash. Emma. They sink into a chorus deafening. I am honking the horn, blasting through the noise, but it joins the chaos. As the dust piles higher, covering gauges, obscuring the wheel. My hand's blackened skin itches unbearably. Like burrowing particles, the highway curves toward a tunnel, old coal mine converted. Warnings flash in my mind, the light leads straight in. I brake hard, tires screech, but momentum pulls, the voices urge enter. Join us. Memories flicker, altered slightly. I told colleagues about a red light last run, they laughed, but now they vanished. 2 trucks found, dusted, 30 minutes more, mind bends again. A deep change hits, I recall, answering the call before 20 years ago. No, that's the lost driver, but in my head, it's me crashing into silence, dust, covering everything, terror grips. The tunnel looms, its red lights line its mouth, pulsing invitingly. 7 minutes on sensory details, overwhelm. The sound of grinding rocks echoes from the tunnel, rumbling like an avalanche building. My mouth fills with dust, choking like inhaling a grave's fill. The air thickens, heavy with particulates. Breathing labors, I am steering into the tunnel. No choice, walls close in. Takai. Dark and jagged red lights illuminate patches, revealing dusty figures, shadowy truckers waving warnings. Their faces decay. One looks like the voice reaching out. The radio screams, final crash sound, explosive, then silence. Dust cascades from the ceiling, burying the cab. I cough violently, vision blacks out. 15 minutes into the tunnel, horror deepens. The dust isn't just coal, it's remains of dead drivers calling through the radio. Their essence pulls me, duplicating the call. My voice joins, warning myself, looping eternally. I am fighting through. Revving the engine. Breaking free of dust piles, the tunnel ends abruptly, open road again. But red lights follow in mirrors, now memories warp further at 30 minutes. I see 20 years of calls, all me disappearing in dust, truck intact seat. Covered, the curse recycles souls through the red lights call. 7 minutes later, senses peak. The touch of dust feels alive. Crawling like tiny insects on skin, whispers fill the silence, call of the dead. Answer. I am pulling over, shaking off dust, but it clings, the radio hums. Waiting for the next call, the night drags on, fog hides horrors. I drive cautiously, but the red light beckons, eternal and unforgiving. The layer of coal dust coats my seat, thick like ashes from voices that never truly silence. I am answering the endless echoes on my CB radio. They duplicate the warnings from the dead, pulling me deeper into the cold, dusted void. I am shaking off the coal dust from my hands. It clings stubbornly, fine particles float. In the cab, the engine idles roughly. I am climbing back into the seat. The powder shifts under me. It's crunching softly. The red light pulses in the rearview mirror, faint but insistent. Like a heartbeat from beyond the tunnel's mouth. Recedes behind fog blankets, the highway. Again, I am revving the accelerator. Tires grip the wet pavement, speed builds slowly, but the dust swirls thicker, obscuring gauges. The night feels endless. Hills rise steeper on both sides, old mine shafts dot. The landscape boarded and forgotten, my breaths come shallow. Lungs itch from inhaled grit. The radio hums slowly, static building again. I am reaching to turn it off, but hesitation stops me. What? If another call comes, the voice knew my name. Emma. Fog thickens ahead, swallowing the road. Headlights reflect back, creating halos. A faint red glow seeps through. Multiple now, I am squinting. They dance like fireflies. In hell, the cab cools. Suddenly frost forms on the windows, unnatural in summer night. 7 minutes drag by, senses assault me. The air carries a metallic temps. Sharp like rusted iron mixed with soot, it coats my tongue. My fingers trace the dashboard, dust layers feel velvety, yet abrasive. Like powdered bones under touch, sounds of distant echoes. Faint voices, murmuring, overlapping faintly. Hush. I am navigating a sharp curve. The truck sways gently. The red lights multiply in the mist. 3 now pulsing in sync, drawing closer. The radio crackles, alive. Not one voice, but 2 identical Emma red light turn back. They overlap, distanced, slightly creating dissonance. I grab the mic. Stop this. Who are you? Crash sounds respond, dual impacts, echoing stereo. The dust piles higher on the floor, shifting with the truck's motion. It forms patterned swirls that look like faces distorted, and screaming I kick at them, scattering briefly, but they reform. The red lights lead toward a side road, an old mining path, tempting deviation. 15 minutes in horror unveils starkly. The voices duplicate further now. For all the same gravelly tone warning in chorus. The call of the dead coal dust claims crash imminent. The red lights resolve into signals. Hanging over the mining road, they flicker invitations. My mirrors show duplicates behind. Ghostly headlights matching my trucks, but ethereal. Phasing through fog, I am swerving away, sticking to the highway, but the ghost trucks follow. Honking spectrally, the blasts vibrate. The cab dust cascades from vents. Burying my feet, choking the air, the voices plead, join us, 20 years calling. My skin crawls, itches intensify like dust burrowing deeper. The highway dips into a valley. More mines appear. Trenches yawn. Open the red lights. Shift, blocking the main path. Forcing the detour, I brake slightly. Tires skid on dust-slick road. The ghost duplicates pull alongside cabs, empty yet voices emanate from them. Multiplying warnings, memories stir uneasily. I recall ignoring a similar call last year, but now it feels like I answered, crashed silently. Truck found, dusted, confusion nags. The chorus grows louder, overpowering the engine's hum. 10 minutes tick by, my mind twists. Profoundly, a memory alters sharply. I see myself as the lost driver, 20 years ago. It's calling out warnings, my voice on the radio. But I'm Emma, or am I the loop? Blurs identities, terror floods. The mining road calls stronger. Red lights pulse hypnotically. The ghost trucks bump my sides. Ethereal jolts, shaking the rig. Dust storms inside. Visibility drops to 0. Cough relentlessly, throat raw. The voices sync perfectly now. Enter the mine. Answer. The call, 7 more minutes heighten everything. The scent of sulfur rises. Acrid like burning coal seems underground. My clothes feel heavy, soaked with sweat and dust. Clinging like a shroud, creaking sounds emerge like mine. Timbers straining under weight. I am yielding to the detour, turning onto the mining path. Gravel crunches under tires. The red lights guide deeper. Ghost duplicates lead the way. Their forms shimmer, fading in and out the path. Narrow walls of earth rise. Entrapping a tunnel entrance, looms ancient and crumbling. Red lights line its throat. The voices cheer, faintly deeper. The dead await. A dust pours from the ceiling as I enter, cascading like black. Rain burying the hood. 15 minutes later, the reveal deepens. The ghost trucks aren't copies, they're past answerers, drivers who heeded the call. Their essences trapped in dust, duplicating eternally each red light. Soul beacon calling the next mine, they merge with my truck. Voices inside now whispering from vents. I am accelerating through the tunnel. Walls scrape the sides, sparks fly. The dust forms figures in the cab, shadowy. Outlines reaching for the wheel. Cold touches numb my arms. The radio blasts, constant. Crash sounds looping, building to crescendo. The tunnel branches, red lights point left. Toward depths, memories assault, altered fragments. I warned myself via radio, 20 years looping. The curse recycles calls through dust and silence. 30 minutes more, mind bends again. A massive shift occurs. I recall the mine's collapse. Burying the first driver, his call. Echoes forever duplicating with each victim, but a weakness silenced the radio at the core. Break the loop, clarity flickers. I smash the CB unit, sparks erupt, voices distort. Fading slightly, the ghost trucks ram harder, forcing deeper dust. Avalanches block retreats, figures solidify, grabbing at me. T, pulling toward walls. I fight back, swerving wildly. Tunnel shakes, rocks tumble. 7 minutes on sensory overload hits the sound of falling. Debris thunders, echoing like judgments from the deep. My skin burns with dust, abrasion raw like sandpaper wounds. The air thickens to paste. Breathing feels like inhaling tar. Red lights converge at a chamber vast and dark. Ghost trucks circle it, voices peak, answer, crash, silence. I slam brakes, skidding to stop. T's, talots, erupt, figures swarm, duplicating around me. 15 minutes into the chamber, horror evolves. The figures aren't just drivers, they're me, duplicated souls from alternate calls. Each one crashed at the red light, their dust coats, everything merging with mine. I feel myself splitting. Echoes forming beside me. I am leaping from the cab, running toward the chamber's center, a glowing red core, the original radio, pulsing with calls. Figures chase, duplicating my steps, crash, sounds deafening, shaking the ground. Memories warp further at 30 minutes. I see endless loops, 20 years of Emma's all answering trucks found dusted. The curse feeds on responses. To end it, ignore the call. But I'm here, trapped in echo. 7 minutes later, senses peak. The touch of ghostly hands feels electric, jolting like live wires, and fog whispers fill my ears. Overlapping call of the dead join. I am reaching the core, smashing it with a rock. Glass shatters, red light explodes, figures wail, duplicating screams, multiply then fade. Dust settles, tunnel quiets, but the loop fights, pulling me back. Red lights reform, faintly voices whisper on the night, presses deeper, mine walls close. I scramble for escape, but echoes linger, the residue of coal dust lingers on my tongue, bitter like regrets from calls that echo without end. I am shattering the red core in the mine's heart. It duplicates the echoes of the dead, burying me in waves of coal dust that whisper eternal calls. I am dropping the rock from my trembling hands. Shards of the shattered core scatter across the chamber floor. Sparks fizzle out in the dust. The figures wail, lying, their forms duplicating wildly before dissolving into swirling black clouds. The red lights dim, flickering like dying embers. My truck sits nearby, engine stalled, cab buried halfway in powder. I am coughing violently, lungs burning from the grit. The mine walls echo with fading whispers, call dead join, but silence creeps in slowly. Uneasy and incomplete, red glows reform faintly in the corners. The curse clings the chamber, feels smaller now, ceiling lowers oppressively. I am stumbling toward the truck, feet sink into dust drifts, soft and suffocating like quicksand made of ashes. Ghostly hands brush my ankles, residual touch is cold and fleeting. The air hangs heavy, stale, and unmoving. Dawn must be near outside, but here, time stalls. Eternal night. I am climbing into the cab, dust avalanches off the seat, coating my legs. The key turns. Engine sputters to life. Reluctant headlights pierce the gloom, revealing more tunnels branching off. Red lights pulse and one calling still. I am reversing carefully, gravel and dust crunch under tires, but the path behind collapses. Slightly rocks tumble, blocking retreat. Partially 7 minutes slip away, senses sharpen cruelly. The scent of damp earth intensifies, moldy like forgotten tombs. Exhaling secrets, my skin prickles with embedded dust, itchy like needles burrowing inward. Sounds of dripping water echo from unseen cracks. Drip, drip, rhythmic and mocking. I am choosing a side tunnel, the one without red lights. Walls narrow, quickly scraping the truck's mirrors. Sparks fly again, the radio smashed hisses faintly residual static. A voice fragments through Emma red light, duplicated faintly, like echoes bouncing off walls. Panic rises, the core's destruction scattered it, not ended. Dust swirls in the headlights, forming shapes again. Faces pressing against the windows, mine duplicated eyes stare back, pleading silently. The truck jolts over uneven ground, shaking me, the calls multiply in my head, overlapping. Warnings from the dead, 15 minutes in horror reveals brutally. The tunnel leads to a larger cavern, red lights bloom everywhere. Dozens now, each one a duplicated core pulsing in unison. Ghost figures emerge from walls. Not just drivers, but versions of me echoing from past loops. They drive spectral trucks, circling the cavern, honking in chorus. The blasts shake the earth. Dust rains from above. I am slamming the accelerator, charging through. But the ghost Emmas block paths, their trucks phase into mine. Merging momentarily, voices flood the cab. All mine answer the call. Crash silence. Coal dust erupts from vents. Burying instruments I wipe, frantically smearing. Black across glass. The cavern expands, revealing abandoned mining equipment. Rusted carts and tools, shadows dangle from them. Stretching long, one snags my bumper. Pulling sideways, the truck fishtails grinding against walls. Sparks illuminate, more duplicates, endless echoes, memories stir. I recall smashing the core before in previous loops, but now it feels multiplied. Curse duplicates, escapes to trapping tighter, 30 minutes pass. My mind twists sharply. A memory changes, I see the original driver not vanished. 20 years ago, but me starting the call, crashing in silence. Dust covering my seat, then duplicating, calling myself across time. Confusion overwhelms the cavern, spins, red lights duplicate further, blinding kaleidoscope. The ghost Emmas swarm. Their touches merge with mine. I feel myself splitting, duplicates peeling off. Driving beside me, we honk together. Unwilling chorus, the dust forms barriers, walling off exits, forcing deeper descent. 7 more minutes intensify everything, the air tastes of sulfur and char. Bitter like swallowing embers from a hellfire, my clothes stiffen. With caked dust, heavy like iron chains dragging creaking timbers overhead, groan loudly threatening collapse. I am spotting a weak point, a crumbling wall. Ramming it with the truck, rocks shatter, opening a new path. Dust avalanche follows, burying ghost. Duplicates temporarily, their wails distort, fading under debris. But red lights pursue, lighting the way unwillingly. As the new tunnel descends, steeper water seeps in, mixing with dust to mud. Tires slip, skidding dangerously, figures reform in puddles, reflective duplicates. Reaching up from below, 15 minutes later, the reveal deepens, the red lights aren't beacons. They're the eyes of the dead, duplicated souls. Trapped in coal veins, each call answered adds, one multiplying the curse, 20 years of victims. All calling through dust, their essence pulls at me, duplicating my voice. I hear myself warning on the radio shards, looping eternally. I am fighting the descent. Shifting gears, climbing back, but mud slicks the path. Ghost Emmas push from behind, ethereal rams, jolting forward. Teal, the water rises, flooding the floor. Dust turns to slurry, clogging everything. The cavern above rumbles, collapse, imminent memories, assault, altered fragments. Colleagues found my truck before dusted seat, but I escaped. Or did I? The loop blurs lines, 30 minutes more. Mind bends profoundly. A massive shift occurs. I recall the mine's secret, the central vein of cursed coal. Where the first crash happened, burning it silences the calls. But reaching it duplicates the danger. 5-fold clarity surges. I steer toward. The descent, embracing the pull. The ghost duplicates, multiply to 5. Each a version of me, they form a convoy leading to the vein. Red eyes glow brighter. Voices sink deeper, answer burn. 7 minutes on sensory overload. Peaks the sound of rushing water, echoes sharply. Gurgling like throats choking on dust, my hands blister on the wheel from heat building below. The air thickens with steam scalding like breaths from underground furnaces. I am entering the vein chamber. Walls gleam black, cursed coal pulses red. Ghost Emmas circle it, guarding I leap out, grabbing a flare from the truck, igniting it. Flame bursts bright, throwing it at the vein. Fire catches. Spreading rapidly, figures ignite, duplicating flames. Screams multiply, chamber shakes. Violently rocks fall, water floods and extinguishing parts, but fire fights back. 15 minutes into the blaze, horror evolves. The burning releases more duplicates, hundreds of red lights exploding outward. Ghost trucks ram the walls, causing cave-ins. I scramble back to my rig, driving through chaos. Flames lick the sides. Heat warps metal. The duplicates merge into a colossal entity, a dust and fire monster, chasing me upward. Voices boom, call eternal, cannot silence. Mud and water rise, threatening to drown the fire. Memories warp further. At 30 minutes, I see the full curse. It doesn't die, evolves, duplicating into new forms, but burning the core vein weakens it. For 20 years, until the next call. Temporary reprieve, I push upward, tunnels collapsing behind. 7 minutes later, senses peak amid inferno. The touch of flames singes my hair, stinging like brands from the dead. Smoke chokes vision, acrid and blinding. The monster's roars duplicate, echoing infinitely. I am bursting from a side entrance onto the surface. Night air rushes in, cool and freeing. The mind seals itself, burying the blaze. Red lights fade below, voices silence for now. 15 minutes on final reveal strikes. The curse lingers in dust on my seat, ready to call. Again in 20 years or sooner. I drive away, warning others via radio. But echoes whisper faintly. 30 minutes end. The descent mind steadies, the highway beckons. The dust trails behind eternal remnant. The crackle of dying flames echoes in my ears, faint like calls from depths that promise to return. I am igniting the cursed veins, final embers in the mind's depths. They consume the duplicated calls of the dead, freeing me from the coal dust that binds eternal echoes. I am bursting onto the surface, tires kicking up mud and gravel. The side entrance collapses behind me in a roar of falling rocks. Smoke billows from the sealed mine, thick and black, like the breath of a dying beast. A dawn breaks faintly on the horizon, painting the hills in pale gold. My truck rattles, engines straining from the abuse. Coal, dust, coats everything. A lingering shroud inside the cab. I am gasping for clean air, coughing up grit that tastes of char and regret. The red lights fade below, but a faint pulse echoes in my mirrors. Not gone, just retreating. The curse whispers faintly in my mind. Return, call eternal. The highway reappears ahead, winding through the valley. Fog lifts slowly, revealing the world above, but shadows stretch long and the morning light duplicating unnaturally. My hands tremble on the wheel, blistered and black. Exhaustion pulls at my eyelids. The radio shards in the dash spark once. Fragmented voice, Emma answer. I stomp them silent, but the pull tugs stronger, urging a return to the depths. Birds chirp tentatively. Out of place, amid the devastation, the air freshens, carrying scents of pine and dew, contrasting the sulfur below, yet dust swirls and eddies behind. The truck forming fleeting shapes, faces mine, duplicated eyes watching from the trail. 7 minutes tick by, senses heightened sharply. The wind through the cracked window carries a sooty aftertaste, acrid like lingering smoke. From buried fires, my skin itches anew. Dust embedded deep like tattoos from the dead sounds of distant rumbles, echo from the mine. Muffled collapses, continuing underground warning of unrest. I am accelerating toward town pavement. Hums under tires reassuring, but red glows flicker in the distance, not light's eyes. Peering from roadside shadows, the curse scatters, duplicating above ground now. Ghost figures emerge from trees, versions of lost drivers. And me they wave silently, beckoning back. The truck's cab warms in the sun. But cold spots bloom on my arms, invisible touches from echoes. The dust on the seat shifts. Forming words join silence. I brush it away, it reforms. Instantly persistent, 15 minutes in horror reveals mercilessly. The ghost figures solidify. Kate, driving spectral rigs along parallel paths. 5 duplicates, now all Emmas honking in unison. Bath. Their calls blast through my shattered. Radio reassembled ethereally. Red light claims crash. The highway buckles faintly. As if the mine's collapse spreads upward, cracks appear in the asphalt. Dust erupts from them, swallowing lanes I am swerving to avoid, but the ghost, Emma's rams sideways, phasing through my truck. Jolts pass through me. Numbing limbs, voices flood my head, overlapping all mine from different loops. Answer the dead, 20 years calling. Cold dust rains from the sky, unnatural. Storm blotting out the sun, visibility drops. Like driving through a black blizzard, the town lights glimmer ahead. Safety or trap memories flicker. I recall escaping before, only to loop back. The curse duplicates freedoms, turning them to illusions. 30 minutes pass. My mind twists profoundly. A memory alters deeply. I see the curse's origin, not a mine collapse, but a ritual. First driver summoned the dead via radio, binding souls and coal. Duplicating calls to feed it, burning the vein, scattered it. Tease. But to end it, silence the original call. My own voice from the first answer. Confusion surges. I'm the vessel now, carrying the core, the ghost. Emmas merge closer. Forming a blockade, their trucks fuse into a massive barrier. Red eyes pulse as one eye floor the pedal. Ramming through, ethereal explosions rock the rig. Dust cascades, burying the hood. Voices scream in chorus, cannot silence. Eternal 7 more minutes, intensify the assault. The scent of burning rubber rises. Sharp like flesh, scorching on hot metal. My breaths labor, chest tight with inhaled particles. Like lungs filling with grave soil, whispers amplify. Surrounding me join the call. Dust claims I am spotting a radio tower ahead. Looming over town, clarity hits the original call broadcast from there 20 years ago. Destroy it. Break the signal. End the loop. I veer off-road. Toward the structure, ghost barrier pursues, duplicating to 10, ramming relentlessly. The terrain roughens, bouncing the truck. Sparks fly from undercarriage. The tower grows. Antenna humming with faint static. Red lights crown it, pulsing invitations. 15 minutes later, the reveal deepens fatally. The tower isn't just metal, it's the curse's antenna, duplicating signals across time. Each answered call adds a layer. 20 years of voices trapped in wires, they pull at me, duplicating my form. Echo Emma's climb from dust, grabbing at the truck. Cold grips freeze controls. I hear my voice, broadcasting. Warning myself, looping infinitely. I am crashing through a fence, reaching the base, leaping out, flare in hand, igniting it again. Flame roars, throwing it at the tower's base, but ghosts swarm, extinguishing sparks. Voices boom, eternal call, cannot burn. Water from earlier floods, no tears. Emotion surges, memories, assault, altered visions. I started the ritual as a child, playing with Dad's radio, calling the dead now, to end it. Sacrifice the voice, silence myself. 30 minutes more, mind bends one. Last time a climactic twist hits, I recall the full truth. The curse dies with the last answer of me. Embrace the dust. Let it claim but invert it. Broadcast silence. I climb the tower. Ghosts clawing at legs. Reaching. The top mic in hand, ethereal eyes speak the call, ends silence. Claims all. Then smash it. Tower sparks. Exploding in red fury. Ghosts duplicate wildly. Then shatter. Dissolving into dust motes. Caught in wind. Voices fade. To whispers then, nothing, the tower collapses, burying remnants 7 minutes on. Senses overwhelm and release, the sound of crumbling metal echoes sharply, like chains breaking from souls. My throat clears, dust expels in. Coughs clean air, fills lungs, sweet like redemption. The sun warms, fully melting cold spots. I am descending, truck intact. Dust settles harmlessly. No more shapes, town approaches. People stare, sirens, wail help. Or echoes, but peace settles, curse broken, truly 15 minutes into aftermath. Its final horror lingers, a faint red glow in my eyes, reflection trauma. It's the dead silenced, but memories echo, I warn by a new radio, ignore. The call, no responses, silence, golden 30 minutes. End the saga. Mind heals, highway calls, anew free of dust. I drive on, glancing back once, nothing follows. The whisper of clean wind fills my cab. Gentle like voices finally laid to rest in depths that no longer call. The silent passenger. I am spotting a silent shadow in my rearview mirror. It stares back with eyes that pierce the curves of the Rocky Mountains. It's whispering thanks for rides never offered. I am hauling logs through the twisting passes of the Rockies. The night is crisp and biting snow flurries. Dance in my headlights, the engine growls steadily. A deep rumble echoing off sheer cliffs. I am Mike Thompson. Veteran trucker, the clock glows 10:45 p.m. My thermos of black coffee steams beside. Me sipping it burns my tongue sharp and bitter. The road snakes upward, its curves sharp like knives carving through stone. Pines loom dark on either side, silent sentinels. The cab is warm from the heater, fogging the edges of the windows. I am wiping the rearview mirror with my sleeve. Condensation smears, but something catches my eye, a shape in the back seat. No, empty. Just my jacket slung there. I shake my head, fatigued, playing tricks. Long hauls do that. The dashcam blinks steadily, recording the empty road ahead. Wind howls outside, whipping snow against the glass. The truck sways gently. On a bend, I glance at the mirror again. There, a figure, hazy at first, seated behind me, face pale, eyes locked on mine. No breath fogs the air, silent. I am slamming the brakes, tires skid on ice, the rig fishtails. Heart pounds, who's there? I yell, twisting back, empty seat, mirror clear now, just reflection of my wide eyes. I am breathing heavy. The cam's audio picks it up, raspy inhales like someone's close to close-eye radio. Bass, this is Mike T, got a weird one, thought I saw someone in the mirror, over static replies. Then laughter, ghost stories again. Mike, get some shut-eye but unease, settles the curves, tighten ahead, snow thickens. 7 minutes tick by, senses sharpen the air and the cab cools abruptly. Frost creeps across the windshield, unnatural, my breath's visible. Now puffing white, the mirror fogs slightly, a handprint appears, not mine. Small and deliberate sounds of faint breathing join mine, heavy and labored from the speakers. All I am accelerating, pushing through the pass, but the figure reappears in the mirror on the next curve, clearer, a man. Features, blurred eyes, hollow, staring, no movement. Just presence, silent passenger. My skin crawls, goosebumps rise like icy fingers. Tracing my neck, the road dips into a valley, shadows deepen. Try the radio again, anyone out there? Seeing things here, no response, just static laced with breaths overlapping mine. The heater blasts full, but cold persists. Frost patterns form on the glass, swirling like messages. 15 minutes pass, and horror reveals itself. The figure doesn't vanish on straightaways, stays gaze, intensifying. I feel it pulling like a weight in the cab. The breathing grows louder, synced with turns. Its heavy exhales on left curves, inhales. On right, the dash cam's light flickers. Footage will show it. Audio swelling. Tittily. My hands grip the wheel tighter. Knuckles. White frost spreads to the side. Mirrors reflecting duplicates. No just one figure, but feels multiplied. I am honking the horn, blasting through the night. Echoes bounce off mountains, but the silent one doesn't flinch. Eyes bore deeper memories, stir old tales from truckers, hitchhikers who never leave. Vanishing passengers. But this one's in the mirror, not the seat yet. The cold seeps into bones. Numbing fingers. Snowstorm builds visibility. Drops the figure's outline, sharpens clothes. Outdated like from decades ago. A hitcher lost in time. The breathing turns rhythmic, almost a whisper. Thanks. ... No imagination, but the cam records it faint under the engine's hum. Memories flicker. I recall a similar report last year. Driver saw a shadow, found dead days later. Eyes open in terror, dismissed as accident now. Doubt creeps. The curves loop endlessly. Mile markers repeat. 112, then 112 again. 30 minutes in. My mind twists suddenly. A memory changes. I see myself picking up a hitchhiker years ago on this pass. He vanished mid-ride, but left a chill, or did I? Confusion floods the figure in the mirror. Nods slightly as if agreeing. The breathing overwhelms, filling the cab. Heavy like a second set of lungs. Frost writes on the windows. Slowly ride. ... I am pulling over at a turnout. Snow crunching under tires. Grabbing a flashlight. Checking the back, empty, but the mirror shows him closer now. Leaning forward, eyes gleaming. I smash the mirror with my fist. Glass shatters. Blood trickles, but the side mirrors reflect him still. Duplicated silent grin, forming 7 more minutes. Heightened senses. The scent of decay wafts in. Musty like wet earth and old cloth, mingling with pine air. My cut hand throbs, sticky warmth contrasting. The cold sounds of scratching emerge from the glass shards like nails etching. Thanks. I am driving on faster. The past summits. Descent begins, but the figure multiplies in fragments. Eyes in every reflection. Breathing syncs perfectly with mine. Labored and accusing. The radio bursts. Static. A voice. Mine reporting the sighting. Looping. 15 minutes later. Another reveal strikes. The silent passenger isn't alone. Faint outlines of others appear in peripheral mirrors, all staring, all breathing heavy. The cam overloads. Audio distorting. Frost message completes. Thanks for the ride, written backward, visible from inside. I am screaming. Voice joining the breaths. The cold intensifies, freezing the controls. Engine stutters, curves sharp. An abyss yawns to the right. The figures reach out from reflections. Touches felt on my shoulders, icy, and real. Memories warp, altered slightly. Tased. I invited him years ago, promised a ride, forgot. Now he collects with friends. The breathing chorus peaks. Drowning thoughts. 30 minutes. More. Mind bends again. A deep change hits. I recall dying on this road. Crash in snow, becoming the passenger, silent and waiting for myself. Terror grips the turnout ahead. My cabin. No, the road ends abruptly. Cliff edge. 7 minutes on. Sensory details overwhelm. The sound of wind screams like tormented souls. My mouth dries, tasting metallic fear like blood and frost. The air thickens. Heavy with unseen weight pressing down. I am veering toward safety, but the figures pull the wheel ethereally toward the drop. Breathing thunders. Cam records at all. Final gasps. 15 minutes into descent. Horror deepens. The passenger solidify. filling the cab silent but breathing. Eyes wide, mirroring my terror, frost spreads everywhere, message duplicates on all glass. I am fighting, revving out. But cold locks limbs, memories loop, endless rides, silent ends 30 minutes later. Mind fractures, climax twists. The passenger is me, future self warning. But too late. Cabin ahead, isolation, death waits 7 minutes more. Senses peak, touches freeze skin like embraces from graves, whispers finally. Speak, thanks. I am parking at the cabin, stumbling in eyes wide terror, frozen cam tape runs. Breathing eternal, the frost on the cabin window spells gratitude, chilling like breaths from passengers who never truly depart. I am replaying the dash cam footage from Mike's final haul. It captures breaths that aren't his, sinking with mountain curves that promise silent companionship eternal. I am Sarah Klein, highway patrol investigator sifting through the evidence in a dimly lit office at the base of the Rockies. The clock ticks past midnight, coffee gone cold in my mug, bitter dregs, the video plays on my laptop. Grainy from snow interference, Mike's voice crackles through reporting. The sighting, his face pale in the cab light, eyes darting to the mirror. The audio layers, heavy breathing not matching his deeper, slower, like a passenger unseen. 3 days since they found him, cabin door, ajar body. Slumped eyes frozen open, frost message on the window, thanks for the ride, autopsy pending. But chills run down my spine, the tape runs, I pause it, rewind. Breath sounds persist even in still frames outside. Wind howls against the precinct windows, snow piling up. I am alone tonight. Shifts extended, the footage resumes. Mike's truck navigates a curve. Mirror reflects. Something hazy, eyes zoom in, pixels distort, but eyes stare back, hollow. My office cools suddenly. Heater on, full blast, yet frost rims my coffee mug, unnatural. I shake it off. Coincidence, the breathing from the speakers grows, overlapping the video's audio like it's live. I am noting details, time. Stamp, 10:52 p.m. Mike wipes. The mirror handprint appears not his. I compare 2 crime scene photos, matches the frost on his cabin glass heart. Quickens the cams, Mike picks up scratching, faint like nails on ice. I lean closer, screen fogs from my breath. No, from inside a message etches slowly backward, watch. 7 minutes drag on, senses assault me, the air carries a musty scent, like damp cloth and decay seeping from vents. My skin prickles, goosebumps, rising like unseen fingers brushing. All sounds of distant wind mimic breaths, heavy and rhythmic, inhales on pauses, exhales on plays. I am fast forwarding. Mike slams, brakes, yells empty seat, but the mirror shows the figure clearer now, pale face, outdated clothes, eyes locked, silent, the audio swells, breaths, multiplying 2 sets, now synced with my own. I hold my breath. It continues, independent, panic nibbles. I radio dispatch. This is Klein. Tape's got anomalies, sending clips over static replies laced with breathing. Laughter dismisses it, ghost tales. Sarah, get rest. The footage hits the summit, Mike's terror peaks, figure nods. Frost writes. Ride, my office mirror fogs reflecting my face, but behind me, a shadow. I whirl. Empty room, chair, empty, but the chill deepens. Frost patterns swirl on my desk glass, forming words 15 minutes in. Horror unveils starkly, the video shows the figure multiplying in shattered mirrors, eyes everywhere, breaths. Chorus, overpowering engine noise, my laptop speakers distort, volume rising unbidden. I muted, breaths persist from my phone. No, the room, heavy exhales sync with my pulse. The office door creaks, wind, teased, locked, a handprint. Smears on the window outside, snow whirls, but inside, K-presence weighs silent passenger in my space. I am standing, pacing, the footage autoplays. K-Mike pulls over, checks back empty, but cam captures reflection. Grin, forming my own reflection in the office, mirror shifts. Eyes not mine, hollow staring. I smash the laptop closed. Screen cracks, but audio leaks breaths. Laughing faintly, thanks. Snow intensifies outside, blurring the lot. My cruiser parked alone, memories stir. I investigated a similar case last winter. Driver reported shadows found, frozen eyes, open message in frost dismissed as hypothermia. Now, connections form, the curves call, urging a drive to the pass. Memories flicker, altered slightly. I recall riding with Mike once as rookies. He joked about hitchhikers, but now, feels like I saw one in his mirror. Ignored it. Guilt floods. The breaths grow labored, filling the office. Like lungs pressed against walls, 30 minutes tick by, my mind twists profoundly. A memory changes sharply. I see myself as the silent figure years ago, hitchhiking in storm, picked up by Mike, vanished mid-ride, but left a chill, or did he leave me? Confusion overwhelms, the footage loops on its own, showing my face. No mics, but eyes match mine. The breaths sink. Perfectly inhaling my fear, the office plunges colder, frost coats everything. Message completes on the window. Thanks for the ride backward, visible from inside. I grab my keys, bolting out to the cruiser. Engine starts. Heat blasts, but cold clings, rearview mirror fogs a shape form seated behind. Eyes meeting mine, 7 more minutes, heighten everything, the scent of decay strengthens, mingling with car freshener, futile. My hands, numb. On the wheel, tingling like frozen grips, from behind creaking sounds emerge like ice cracking under weight, or bones settling in the back seat. I am driving toward the past snow-slick roads, curves, approaching, the figure solidifies. In the mirror, pale, silent, but breaths heavy from the dash speakers, my radio. Tuned to static, overlapping the cam, and my cruiser blinks on, recording automatically. Policy, but audio already layers breaths, not mine. The road winds upward, flurries blind, the silent one leans forward, eyes piercing, no words. It's just presence pulling me deeper into the mountains. A curve hits, breaths intensify. Exhales heavy like thanks, whispered 15 minutes later. The reveal deepens. The figure isn't alone. Outlines multiply inside mirrors. All silent, all breathing. Dashcam footage from Mike plays on my mind, merging with live ghosts of past drivers' eyes. Wide messages. Frost on my windshield duplicating. Thanks, thanks, thanks. I am honking, blasts echoing up, but they don't flinch. Touches felt icy on my neck. Real memories assault. Altered fragments I caused. This ignored reports. Let the curse spread. Now it rides with me, silent and grateful. The past summits descend, treacherous breaths chorus louder, drowning radio static. 30 minutes more. Mind bends again. A massive shift occurs. I recall the origin. A crash decades ago. Hitchhiker died. Unburied soul hitches rides, silently leaving messages. Collecting companions. Mike was one, now me, but a weakness. Speak to it, break the silence. Clarity flickers, I glance back. Who are you? Voice trembles. The figure grins. Breaths distort, fading slightly. But multiples ram the thought, pressing silence. Cruiser skids toward cliff. 7 minutes on. Sensory overload hits, the sound of wind howls. Like collective sighs, my throat tightens, tasting frost and fear metallic. The air thickens, heavy with unspoken words, pressing like bodies in the cab. Curves tighten, figures reach from mirrors, pulling wheel toward abyss. 15 minutes into descent. Horror evolves, the passengers solidify, filling back seats, silent stares, breaths thundering, frost spreads. Messages everywhere I fight, revving away, but cold locks, memories loop endless. Rides I am veering to a cabin mics. No mine isolation calls terror, builds memories, warp further at 30 minutes. I see endless loops, drivers becoming passengers. Silent eternal curse feeds on ignorance to end. Acknowledge, thank you. For nothing I shout figures, wail, duplicating then fading breaths. Quiet, but silence fights. Pulling back mirrors, reformed shapes, whispers on 7 minutes later. Senses peak, touches freeze flesh, like embraces ceiling. Fate's breaths whisper, finally welcome, I am arriving at my post, stumbling in. Eyes wide tape, running, breathing eternal, the frost on my office window spells invitation, chilling like rides that bind souls in silence unbroken. I am acknowledging the silent chorus in my cruiser's mirrors. They breathe thanks for rides that chain souls to the endless curves of the Rockies. Frost etches eternal invitations. I am Sarah Klein, fleeing my frost-rimed office into the blizzard-swept night, keys shaking in my numb fingers. The precinct lot is a white void, my cruiser buried under fresh snow. The engine turns over reluctantly. Coughing to life wipers smear the windshield, revealing the road to the pass. Mike's tape tucked in my pocket. Its weight like a cold stone, the rearview mirror clears slowly, but a haze lingers, eyes, watching, not mine, heavy. Breaths fog the glass from inside, synced with the engine's hum. I am accelerating away. Tires spinning on ice, toward the mountains, to end this, or be claimed. The storm rages. Wind battering the vehicle like unseen hands pounding for entry. Dashboard lights flicker, radio static bursts. Tiered with inhalations, deep and patient, the cam activates automatically. Red light blinking, recording my wide-eyed stare, and something behind the curves loom ahead. Dark and twisting memories of Mike's footage play in my mind. His terror now mine. Frost creeps along the edges of the windows, forming partial words. Thanks, ... I am climbing the pass. Road narrowing to a knife's edge, cliffs drop sheer on one side, tines clawing from the other. The silent figure in the mirror solidifies, pale face, hollow eyes leaning closer. No words, just presence, pulling at my thoughts. The breaths amplify through the speakers to sets now mine, and it's overlapping on left turns. It's diverging on right. My heater blasts futilely, cab temperature plummets. Frost patterns swirl like fingerprints from the grave 7. Minutes slip by, senses sharpen cruelly. The air thickens with a decayed sweetness. It's like old flowers rotting in snow, mingling with exhaust. My neck prickles, as if breath warms it from behind. Sounds of faint scratching echo from the back seat, nails on upholstery. Or ice-forming messages, rhythmic and insistent. I am radioing for backup. Klein here, heading to the pass. Anomalies, escalating, send units, static replies, but laced with breaths. Dispatch. Voice distorts, Sarah, ... No imagination. The figure in the mirror nods subtly, as if confirming. Snow whips harder, visibility 0. A tear. But the curves feel familiar, looping tighter. Mile marker 112 again. Again eternal, repeat. The silent one multiplies faintly, outlines inside mirrors. It's all staring, all breathing, heavy exhales, fogging glass. I swerve a bend, cruiser fishtails. Heart races, touches brush, my shoulder icy. And fleeting real, 15 minutes in. Horror reveals brutally the figures aren't random ghosts. They're past investigators like me, drawn to the pass, eyes wide in frozen terror. It's their breaths chorus, now 3 sets, synced with the storm's gusts. Frost completes on the windshield. Thanks for the ride backward, blocking my view. I wipe it, frantically smearing cold across my palm. It reforms, instantly persistent. The dashcam audio swells, capturing the symphony my voice joins, unwillingly, gasping. I am pushing faster summit, approaching. But the silent passengers lean in from reflections, pressing silence, like a vow. Memories stir, I recall, dismissing Mike's initial report, laughed it off. Now guilt twists the road, buckles under snow cracks like veins from below. The curse rises, duplicating in the ice shadows stretch from trees, forming more figures, hitchhikers eternal, waving silently, beckoning. The cab weighs heavier as if occupied, fully breaths, laboring in unison. Memories flicker, altered slightly. I see myself hitchhiking once storm night, picked up by a trucker, vanished. No, I was the driver. Confusion nags. The main figure grins faintly, eyes gleaming with shared secrets. 30 minutes pass, my mind twists sharply. A memory changes deeply, I envision the curse's birth. Decades ago, avalanche buried a convoy, souls trapped hitching. Silent rides leaving messages in frost, each ignored report adds one. Mike was the latest. Now me, but they seek acknowledgement, speak their names, break the chain, clarity surges. I glance back. What is your name? Voice echoes, figures wail, silently breaths distort, splitting into discord. But multiples reform, pressing harder, cruiser skids toward the edge, abyss. Yawns, I correct wildly. Tires gripping, barely 7 more minutes intensify. Everything, the scent of wet earth rises. Clogging nostrils like burial soil, inhaled my clothes, dampened with sweat, turned ice heavy like shrouds. Creaking emerges from the chassis like the vehicle straining under phantom weight. Threatening to snap, I am spotting a turnout, Mike's cabin. It's dark and isolated, pulling in snow, crunching, exiting the cruiser, flashlight beam cuts through flurries. Figures follow in beams, silent shadows, breaths, visible. In the cold, puffing white, encircling the cabin door ajar, frost inside, messages duplicated on walls. Thanks, 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 echoing the curse's gratitude. 15 minutes later. The reveal deepens. The silent passengers aren't victims, they're collectors. Binding new souls with each ride, 20 years of drivers, all breathing through mirrors. Their essence pulls at me, duplicating my form. Echo Saris. Up here in the snow, staring back, I hear my voice on the radio, warning myself, looping from the cruiser. I am fighting back, shouting names from old reports. John, Eliza, Mike. Figures flinch, breaths falter, fading slightly. But the main one advances, touch freezing my arm. Memories assault, altered fragments. I buried the first report, started the silence. Now it ends with me, the storm peaks, wind howling like collective thanks, cabin shakes. 30 minutes more. Mind bends profoundly, a massive shift occurs. I recall the core. Buried radio in the avalanche site, broadcasting silent calls, destroy it, silence the breaths. But reaching it duplicates the passengers' fivefold clarity. Fights fear, I trek into the snow toward the old crash site. Its figures multiply, guiding unwillingly. The ghost duplicates, form a line, each a version of lost souls. They block paths, red eyes. No hollow breaths, sync ride. Eternal thanks. 7 minutes on. Sensory overload peaks, the sound of crunching snow echoes like bones. Breaking underfoot, my face numbs, frostbite, nipping like kisses from the dead. The air thickens with steam from breaths, scalding cold, like paradoxes from hell. I am reaching the site, digging frantically, hands raw, unearthing a rusted radio, pulsing faintly, smashing it with a rock. Sparks erupt, figures ignite in silent screams, breaths multiply, then choke, avalanche rumbles, snow. Cascading 15 minutes into the chaos. Horror evolves. The destruction releases more, dozens of silent ones exploding outward, they swarm. Touches freezing flesh, I flee back to the cruiser, driving through whiteout cold warps metal. Its boom cannot silence. Ride memories warp further. At 30 minutes, I see the full curse. It evolves. It's duplicating into new silences, but smashing the source weakens it. For a time, until the next storm temporary hush, I descend the past snow, burying echoes 7 minutes later. Senses peak amid retreat. The touch of wind stings like final grasps, fading smoke from breaths. No exhaust, choking yet freeing, the chorus quiets, echoing softly. I am arriving at base night, lifting silence, golden, but mirrors clear. A faint haze remains, watching 15 minutes on. Final reveal strikes, the curse lingers in frost on glass, ready to breathe again. In next storm I reported warning, all but breaths, whisper faintly. 30 minutes end. The ascent mind steadies, roads beckon. But silence trails eternal companion. The hush of falling snow fills my ears, faint like breaths from passengers promising silent returns. I am shattering the buried radio's final echoes. In the avalanche scar they release breaths that bind silent passengers to frost-kissed curves. Thanks etched invitations to rides without end. I am Sarah Klein, descending the treacherous pass in my cruiser, the storm's fury waning as dawn pierces the clouds like hesitant fingers of light snowdrifts swirl in my wake. Burying the crash site where I smashed, the cursed radio sparks still dance in my memory figures, dissolving into whiteout screams. But silence doesn't hold. A faint breath fogs the rearview mirror anew. Heavy and patient, the dashcam blinks erratically, recording haze that reforms into eyes, watching the curse retreats, but claws back. Thanks. ... Psst. Faintly on the glass, I accelerate toward town tires, gripping melting slush. Base radio crackles climb. Report in anomalies. My voice trembles, contained for now, but doubt gnaws, mirrors clear. No shadows linger, the road straightens into the valley, pines thin to reveal distant lights of the precinct. Exhaustion weighs, like phantom passengers pressing down my hands, raw from digging. Throb on the wheel, frost melts from windows, dripping like tears from the dead, but cold spots bloom inside, invisible presences shifting. The tape from Mike's truck burns in my pocket, its breaths sync with mine. Now subtle insidious birds stir in the trees, their calls out of place amid the hush, yet wind carries whispers ride. ... I glance at side mirrors, figures reform faintly, not gone, duplicated. 5, now silent stares. Multiplying, the curse evolves, adapting to destruction. Town approaches safety. For final trap memories flicker, I recall returning from the past before, only to loop reports ignored. Curse strengthened. 7 minutes tick. My senses heighten sharply, the air carries lingering decay, sweet and rotten like flowers left on graves, thawing in spring, mingling with wet asphalt. My skin itches anew. Frost embedded deep like veins of ice, pulsing sounds of distant rumbles echo from the mountains, muffled avalanches continuing. Warning of resurgence. I pull into the precinct lot, snow melting to puddles, colleagues' vehicles parked. Normalcy mocks as I exit. Breaths puff visible in the warming air, not mine, from shadows. Silent figures emerge from reflections in windows, versions of Mike, of me waving silently, beckoning return. The office door looms, frost reforming on glass. Message, duplicating, thanks for the ride. Thanks. The cab of my cruiser warms in the sun, but cold grips my arms, touches from echoes. Persistent, I brush them off. They cling, reforming. 15 minutes in. Horror reveals mercilessly, the figures solidify above ground, manifesting in broad daylight. 5 duplicates now, all Sarahs breathing in unison. Their exhales frost the air, unnaturally. Precinct windows fog, messages spread. Like virus colleagues, noticed Sarah. You okay? But their eyes hollow, briefly infected. The curse scatters, duplicating through reports. My dashcam footage plays on loop inside, broadcasting breaths to radio's red light. No silent call claims all. Roads buckle, faintly cracks in pavement, frost erupting, swallowing paths. I rush inside, a TD evidence room, slamming the door, but silent passengers follow through vents. Breaths heavy, overlapping all mine from different loops, acknowledge the ride crash. Files scatter, frost coats, them duplicating messages, visibility drops, like storm indoors. White mist of breaths, the town siren wails distantly. Alert, or echo memories flicker. I recall escaping the pass, only to bring it here, cursed duplicates, havens, turning them to graves. 30 minutes pass. My mind twists profoundly, a memory alters deeply. I see the curses. True origin, not avalanche, but a packed first hitchhiker sold his silence for safe. His passage binding souls and frost duplicating, thanks to feed it, smashing the radio, scattered it. But to end it, reject the ride, silence my own. Voice the vessel now carrying the core in my breaths. Confusion surges, I'm the anchor hosting the silent ones. The duplicate Sarahs merge closer. Forming a circle, their forms fuse into a massive shadow, eyes pulsing as one eye bolt for the radio room to broadcast rejection, but they block. Ethereal barriers, frost cascades, burying floors, breaths scream in chorus, cannot reject eternal. 7 more minutes intensify the assault, the scent of frozen decay rises sharp like ice, shattering on flesh. My breaths labor, chest tight with inhaled frost like lungs, crystallizing whispers, amplifies surrounding, join the ride. Thanks. I spot the main radio tower outside. Looming over precinct, clarity hits the original packed broadcast from there. Decades ago, destroy it, break the silence, end the loop. I burst out toward the structure. Duplicate barrier pursues, multiplying to 10, encircling. Relentlessly the terrain slicks with melting snow, slipping me sparks from nerves. No curse igniting tower grows, antenna humming with static breaths. Eyes crown it hollow and inviting. 15 minutes later, the reveal deepens fatally. The tower isn't mere metal, it's the curse's heart. Duplicating silences across time, each ignored ride adds a layer. 20 years of breaths trapped in wires, they pull at me, duplicating my form. Echo Sarah's climb from frost grabbing limbs, cold grips freeze muscles. I hear my voice broadcasting, thanking myself, looping infinitely. I crash through barriers, reaching the base, grabbing explosives from evidence kit. Number. Improvise, igniting flare against fuel line weight. Memory surges flare from cruiser, flame roars, hurling it at the base, but ghosts swarm, smothering sparks. Bruce boom, eternal ride cannot end, emotion surges. Memories assault, altered visions. I made the pact as a young cop, ignored a hitchhiker, sealed the silence now. To end it, offer voice, break my silence. I climb the tower, duplicates clawing, reaching top, mic ethereal. I speak, the ride ends. Silence broken, no thanks. Then smash it, tower erupts in frost fury, exploding. Outward ghosts duplicate wildly, then fracture, dissolving into snowflakes. Carried by wind breaths, fade to size, then hush, tower crumbles, burying remnants. 7 minutes on. Senses overwhelm and release the sound of collapsing steel echoes. Sharply like vows shattering from souls, my throat thaws, frost expels and coughs, warm air fills lungs, sweet like absolution. Kea, the sun strengthens, melting cold. Holds, I descend, precinct intact, figures gone, colleagues. Rush out, what happened? I wave off, dust settles harmlessly. No more messages, town stirs, peace settles, curse shattered truly. 15 minutes into aftermath. Final horror lingers a faint breath in my exhale echo. Trauma the silent ones released, but memories breathe. I file the report. Case closed. No anomalies, silence, golden 30 minutes end the saga, mind heals. Roads call anew, free of frost. I drive on glancing mirrors, once clear. Nothing rides. The whisper of warming wind fills my cruiser. Gentle like breaths from passengers finally departed in silences unbroken. I am veering into the shadowed maw of an unmarked tunnel on the back roads. It swallows my truck whole, promising shortcuts through time that dust with echoes from decades unspoken. I am Linda Harris, long-haul trucker, navigating the winding, rural highways of upstate New York under a moonless sky. The clock on the dash reads 2:17 a.m. My rig hauls produce. Crates of apples rattling softly in the trailer, fatigue nips at my edges. Coffee long gone stale in the thermos bitter. Aftertaste lingers. The GPS glitches again. Screen flickering, no signal. I curse under my breath, spotting a faded sign ahead. Detour, old tunnel route. Not on my maps, but the main road's blocked by construction. This could shave hours. I turn in. Gravel crunching under tires, the entrance looms, overgrown with vines abandoned. Looks, its headlights pierce the dark throat walls, slick with moisture, echoes of dripping water amplify drip. Drip like a heartbeat in stone. The tunnel envelops me. Air cools instantly. Musty scent seeps in like wet earth. And forgotten cellars, the engine's rumble bounces off concrete, distorting into a low growl. No lights inside, just my beams cutting through gloom. Graffiti flashes by faded tags from who knows when. 1978 scrawled in one odd. My radio statics tuning to a station. Oldies crackle through song from the 70s, staying alive. Fitting. I chuckle nervously. The tunnel stretches longer than expected. Curves gently, no end in sight. 7 minutes tick by, senses sharpen, the air thickens. Carrying a metallic temps like rusted pipes, exhaling secrets, my skin prickles. Goosebumps, rising like unseen eyes, watching sounds of faint whispers, join the drip's wind. No voices, murmuring, overlapping, faintly turn back. Imagination, I accelerate, tires hum on uneven pavement, cracks in the walls gleam wetly, reflections dance my face in puddles. Distorted, the radio warp song repeats, looping the chorus, static building, a voice breaks through. Linda ... shortcut. My name. Heart skips, I slap the radio off. Silence presses, heavier, the tunnel narrows, slightly walls, brushing the mirrors, sparks fly brief. Flashes illuminate more, graffiti dates, jumping 1978. 1950s scrawls, time feels off clock, frozen at 2:17, no moving backward. 2:16 now, hallucination from exhaustion. I rub my eyes, the whispers amplify, echoing from vents, empty road ahead. Cold drafts swirl, fogging the windshield inside, unnatural. I wipe at hand. Comes away dusty, fine gray powder. Smells old like attic relics. 15 minutes in. Wait, only 10 by my watch, but it drags, horror hints, the whispers form words, world waits. Empty, lights flicker, headlights dimming, revealing shapes in the dark, figures. Shadowy outlines along walls, standing silent. Watching the truck pass, faces pale, clothes, outdated 70s styles, they don't move. Chair. Panic rises, I honk the horn. Blast echoes deafeningly, shapes dissolve, but reappear ahead, multiplying faintly. The dust thickens in the cab, coating the dash gray, an ancient tasting it, accidentally bitter like aged paper. I am pushing the accelerator and must be near, but the tunnel loops. Same graffiti repeats, 1978 again. Memories stir, I recall hearing tales from old truckers. Ghost tunnels, portals to nowhere dismissed as yarns now. Doubt creeps, the figure solidifies slightly. One reaches out, hand phasing. Through the window, cold touch brushes my arm, real. I swerve, trailer sways, the radio bursts. On news clip, Teen 78, disappearances, tunnel closed. Static swallows it. The dust piles on the floor, shifting with motion, forming patterns, swirls like maps, unmarked routes. The whispers plead, join the empty. Memories flicker, altered slightly. I see myself driving this route before as a kid. No, impossible, dad was a trucker, told stories, but now it feels like I was here in 1978. Confusion nags, clock spins backward faster to 10:30 minutes. No, only 10 total. Mind bends, a memory changes sharply. I envision entering the tunnel years ago, exiting to nothing, but I returned. Loop blurs, the figures crowd the walls, pressing in, eyes hollow, mouths moving silently, empty, empty, empty. Dust storms inside, obscuring gauges, visibility drops like driving through gray fog. 7 more minutes, heightened senses, the scent of decay intensifies, moldy. It's like buried time capsules unearthed, my throat itches from inhaled grit, coughing dryly, sounds of distant traffic. No echoes from outside, fading, the tunnel vibrates subtly like the world shifting beyond. I am spotting light ahead. Exit, accelerating toward it, figures chase in shadows. Reaching touches numb my neck, the whispers crescendo, welcome to empty. Bursting out, night air rushes in, but silence, absolute. No cars on the highway. No lights in distant towns, empty world vacant. I brake hard, skidding to stop. Looking back, tunnel gone, just sheer cliff face vines. Undisturbed, my truck coated in thick dust, gray and heavy, scraping it off. It crumbles like from decades ago. Clock jumps now to 27 a.m. But date. GPS back online, year reads 2028. No, my phone news alerts frozen last. From 1978. 15 minutes later. Horror unveils. Driving toward town, roads cracked, overgrown, no people, abandoned cars, rusted from 70s models, dust everywhere, 50 years worth. Radio silent, no signals, memories, assault, altered. Fragments, I exited in 1978. I spude, but I'm from now, confusion overwhelms, spotting a traffic camera, ancient lens dusty, but worry, recording me in the past. The empty world presses, winds howl lonely, no birds, no life. As figures from tunnel appear in distance, walking empty roads, silent sentinels. 30 minutes post-exit. Mind twists profoundly, a massive shift. I recall the tunnels. Secret, a rift swallowing travelers, spitting to empty timelines, dust from lost eras. My story. Won't believe until footage surfaces from 1978, cams showing my truck, modern anachronism, 7 minutes on. Sensory overload hits, the sound of wind screams, isolation, my mouth dry, tasting dust of ages, metallic and ancient. The air still heavy with absence, pressing like vanished crowds driving on, seeking signs. But emptiness echoes, figures draw nearer, whispering thanks for the shortcut, 15 minutes into void. Horror deepens, the figures aren't ghosts. They're me, duplicated across times, exiting tunnels and loops. Dust coats them, 50 years old. They wave, inviting join. I am turning back. Cliff unchanged. No tunnel, trapped in empty memories, warp further at 30 minutes. I see endless rifts. Tunnels, unmarked, swallowing since 1978, to end, but gone. Curse feeds on disbelief, footage will prove in future. Past 7 minutes later. Senses peak, touches from wind feel like hands of the lost, pulling dust, swirls forming messages on hood, welcome 1978. 30 minutes more. Mind fractures, climax twists, I'm the first created. The rift shortcut, wish now eternal empty world my domain, but a town appears flickering people. Illusions I drive in screaming for help, no one hears disbelief seals the dust on my mirrors, spells warnings gray. Like veils from timelines that swallow souls in tunnels without maps or mercy. I am scrutinizing grainy footage from 1978. It's traffic cams in the dim glow of archival vaults. It captures a phantom truck bursting from nowhere, dusting the past with echoes of an empty future that whispers invitations to rifts unmapped. I am Dr. Elias Grant, paranormal researcher and historian, poring over dusty reels in the basement of the New York State Archives. The clock on the wall chimes, 11:45 p.m. Fluorescent lights buzz faintly, casting long shadows across metal shelves. Lined with film canisters, coffee in my mug has gone cold. Its bitterness amplified by the stale air, a tip from a colleague anomalous. It's footage from 1978 showing a modern semi-truck on a rural highway, not possible trucks like that didn't exist then. The reel threads into the projector, flickering images play black and white. A quiet road, then distortion, a tunnel mouth appears, briefly vanishes. Out comes the rig license plate. Current drivers. Face visible woman, Linda Harris. Reported missing last week, her story. Entered a ghost tunnel, exited to empty world, dismissed as delusion, but here. On 1978 film anachronism, heart quickens, the footage loops. Dust swirls unnaturally around the truck, gray and thick like from decades hence. The basement chills abruptly, draft from vents. No windows sealed, I pause the film, static hums from the projector, whispers embedded. Faint, empty, shortcut. Audio artifact, I noted. The image freezes on the tunnel, not on any maps. Historical records show no such structure ever. My laptop beside me, searching databases. Nothing, but a chill runs down my spine, the screen fogs. Slightly inside breath. Mine. No independent 7 minutes drag on senses assault. Me, the air carries a musty temps. Like aged film stock decaying mingled with wet stone, prickling my nostrils, my arms goosebump as if fingers trace patterns, unseen sounds of dripping water echo from pipes. Rhythmic drip, drip, syncing with the projector's clicks, like the tunnel's heartbeat bleeding through. I am rewinding, the truck enters reverse. A T number. Footage shows it emerging, but now, its figures in the background, shadowy on the 1978 road, staring at the camera, faces, pale clothes from now. Modern anomaly multiplies, I zoom in, pixels distort eyes, hollow mouths moving. Silently join leap, reading panic nibbles. I call my assistant voicemail, Elias. Found something. Be careful. The whispers from the projector grow, overlapping empty world waits, the basement door creaks wind. Locked, a fine dust settles on my desk. Gray powder smells old, like 50-year attic grime. I brush it. It clings, reforming into swirls, map-like unmarked tunnel, 15 minutes. In horror, unveils starkly, the footage auto plays forward. Beyond the truck's emergence, the road empties. Cars vanish, mid-frame world desolates in seconds. Figures multiply on screen, walking silent, the projector heats up smoke. No dust erupting from vents. Coating everything, whispers amplify through speakers, multiple voices. Linda, Elias, shortcut my name. Tate. I slap it off. Whispers persist from the walls. Echoing drips turn to murmurs, the dust on my laptop forms words. Enter. I am standing, pacing the vault. The film canister feels heavier, opening it inside. Not just reel, a photo. Faded me. In 1978 attire, impossible beside a tunnel entrance, memories stir. I researched disappearances before. 1978 cluster drivers vanished on that road, reports of a tunnel ignored now. Its connections, the figures. In footage reach out toward, the camera touches felt. Cold brush on my hand, real dust thickens in the air like fog, visibility drops. Whispers plead, join the empty, the basement feels, smaller walls closing. Flicker altered slightly, I see myself visiting the site years ago. As a student saw the tunnel turned away, but now it feels like I entered, exited to normal. Guilt twists the drips, form puddles reflecting my face. Distorted, aged 50 years. 30 minutes tick by, my mind twists profoundly. A memory changes sharply, I envision being in 1978. Filming the cam, capturing the truck Linda's, but I'm from now. Time rift. Confusion floods. The footage loops on its own, showing my basement. No, the tunnel interior, figures crowding, eyes on me, whispers overwhelm, filling the vault. Like breaths from lost eras, dust piles form shapes, humanoids, silent watchers. The chill deepens frost. In summer basement, no dust turns icy, coating skin, numbing. 7 more minutes, heighten everything. The scent of decay strengthens, moldy like buried film, rotting in earth. My throat scratches from inhaled. Grit, coughing echoes, sounds of scratching emerge from shelves like nails etching dates. 1978. Repeating, I am grabbing my keys, bolting to my car upstairs, archives empty, night staff gone. World quiet to quiet, driving toward the site, rural highways, GPS glitches, no route. Whispers follow on radio, static laced shortcut awaits. The road winds, moonless headlights catch dust swirls, forming figures walking beside. Silent eyes hollow, a curve hits, whispers intensify, enter empty. 15 minutes later, the reveal deepens, the figures aren't anomalies. They're travelers, swallowed by the rift, duplicated across time's 1978 cams. Captured them now. Me pulled in. I spot the tunnel entrance. Overgrown, not on maps, but real dust coats the road, 50 years old. Fresh whispers. Boom, Linda waits. I am approaching, engine stutters, figures solidify, reaching for the car. Cold touches freeze, controls memories, assault altered fragments. I caused the rift, research opened it, seeking ghosts. Tane, now it seeks me. The tunnel mouth yawns, inviting darkness, within drips loudly. 30 minutes more, mind bends again, a massive shift occurs. I recall the core. The tunnel is in fixed moves, swallowing ears to close. Traverse. Time, but exiting duplicates you in empty worlds, clarity flickers. I enter walls, close dust storms, whispers sink, welcome 1978. 7 minutes on sensory overload hits. The sound of echoes thunders like collapsing timelines, my mouth fills with dust taste. Bitter antiquity. The air presses heavy with vanished presences, suffocating curves inside. Figures line walls, reaching, pulling toward empty. 15 minutes into tunnel, horror evolves. Passengers appear in seats, silent duplicates of Linda, of me. From different years, dust ages them 50 years, they stare. Whispers chorus, join empty. I am accelerating, light ahead. Exit 2, 1978. World empty there, 2 memories warp further at 30 minutes. I see loops, tunnels birthing, empty's curse feeds on entries to end, seal from inside, but dust claims 7. Minutes later, senses peak, touches numb flesh, like grips from timelines erasing, whispers speak, stay. 30 minutes more, mind fractures, climax twists, I'm the guardian created to warn but failed. Empty world, my fate, exiting to desolation, tunnel vanishes. Dust coats, car, 50 years footage will show in future. Archives, the whispers in my radio spell, lures faint like calls from rifts that dust souls and tunnels eternal. I am unraveling Dr. Grant's cryptic notes. In the flickering light of forgotten archives, they sketch rifts that veil the now in dust from vacant eras. Beckoning wanderers to tunnels that swallow time and spit echoes into emptiness, unending. I am Alex Rivera, investigative journalist, sifting through Elias Grant's abandoned office in a rundown university annex on the outskirts of Albany. The digital clock blinks 3:22 a.m., its red glow piercing the dim room cluttered with yellowed papers and outdated hard drives. A lukewarm energy drink fizzes beside me, its artificial tang cutting through the musty odor of old books. Harris's case, the ghost tunnel, the empty world dust from 50 years past. Scoffed at by officials, but I've chased leads on similar disappearances. Drivers gone without trace on rural routes, the hard drive whirs to life. Footage plays grainy. 1978 cam shows Harris's truck emerging from nowhere, then a glitch, Grant's car in the frame. Possible timeline overlap. My pulse quickens, whispers embed in the audio faint. Alex, enter my name. Paranoia from late nights. I pause it, the screen fogs subtly, condensation inside forming drips like tunnel leaks bleeding through. The annex quiets, unnaturally, campus empty at this hour. I shake off unease, notes detail. Grant's descent, whispers, dust, figures and shadows. A map sketched hastily. Unmarked tunnel location, not on GPS. Historical anomaly. My phone buzzes, anonymous tip, follow Grant, rift, wait, sender, unknown, chill seeps into the room, air conditioning off, dust motes dance in my flashlight beam. Gray and fine settling on desks, unnatural accumulations, 7 minutes slip by senses. Sharpen cruelly, the air thickens with a decayed sweetness like archived papers rotting in damp, mingled with wet concrete prickling my senses. My neck tingles as if breaths whisper close, sounds of faint dripping echo from vents, rhythmic drip drip, syncing with my heartbeat, accelerating. I am fast forwarding the footage. Grant's car approaches the tunnel, figures emerge on screen, shadowy, reaching, then static swallows, but now, in the video's end, a new frame, my face, reflected, snow edited in horror nibbles. I email a clip to my editor. Big story, check this. Reply bounces, undeliverable, whispers from speakers grow. Overlapping shortcut to empty. Alex, I mute. It persists, faintly from walls. The dust on notes shifts, forming patterns, tunnel entrance sketched anew. The office door rattles, locked. A fine layer coats my skin, gray powder. Tastes bitter on lips like aged soil from buried eras. I brush it, reforms, swirling into dates, 1978. Then 2028. Looping backward, 15 minutes in horror reveals brutally. The footage loops autonomously beyond Grant's entry world, empties on screen. Its figures multiply, silent watchers with hollow eyes, clothes mixing eras, 70s flares. Modern jeans, their whispers chorus, now 3 layers synced with drips. Dust erupts from the hard drive coating, keyboard gray storm. I cough, inhaling grit. Grade. It clings inside, heavy. The screen fogs completely. Message. Etches enter backward. Visible from my side, I smash the laptop shut. It cracks spiderweb. But audio leaks, whispers, laughing softly. Join Linda, Elias. I am pacing the annex. Feels compressed shelves, leaning in. Illusion notes scatter, 1 page. Grant's warning, rift duplicates, exits to empty variants. Dust ages you, memories stir. I covered a 1978 disappearance as my first story. Interviewed witnesses, saw dust on their cars. Dismissed as weather now. Regret surges, figures appear in room corners, shadowy outlines staring silent. Dust swirls around them, forming more memories, flicker, altered slightly. I recall driving near the site once, saw a tunnel flicker, ignored it, but now it feels like I entered briefly, exited, unchanged, doubt twists. The drips form puddles on floor, reflecting my face, aged, wrinkled by 50 years. 30 minutes pass, my mind twists sharply, a memory changes deeply. I envision myself in the 1978 footage as a child, filming. No time bleed, The rift pulls threads, grants notes, reveal tunnel born from 1978. Experiment. Government test dimensional shortcut backfired, swallowing timelines, creating empty copies. Each entry adds a layer, duplicates souls and dust. Clarity nags to seal. Enter and collapse from inside, but risks duplication. Whispers overwhelm, filling the annex like echoes from vacant worlds. Dust piles shape humanoid forms, silent sentinels advancing. The chill intensifies. Dust turns to frost like grit. Numbing fingers, figures reach touches cold, phasing through 7 more minutes. Intensify everything. The scent of antiquity rises, clogging like inhaled history. My clothes heavy with accumulating gray. Sounds of scratching from walls like dates, carving themselves. 1978. Repeating eternally. I am fleeing to my car. Campus roads, empty to empty, driving toward the sketched location. GPS, Fritz is recalculating. Empty. Whispers on car radio, static woven. Rift calls, dust swirls outside. Forming figures walking parallel. Eyes, hollow mouths, silent. The highway winds. Dark headlights catch overgrown entrance. Tunnel mouth, yawning, inviting darkness. 15 minutes later, the reveal deepens. The figures aren't lost souls. They're duplicates of entrance like Linda Eliasmi soon. From empty timelines, dust ages them 50 years per loop. They block the road. Silent barriers, whispers boom. Enter too empty. I swerve, car fishtails. Touches freeze, wheel memories. Assault altered fragments. I opened. The rift story exposed. It fed the curse. Now it hungers for closure. Through me the tunnel entrance pulses, dripping loudly, echoing welcomes. 30 minutes more. Mind bends profoundly. A massive shift occurs, I recall. The origin, fully 1978 test ripped time created mobile rifts, tunnels that move, swallowing eras to close. Traverse it, reverse time, but exiting duplicates you in empty worlds. Clarity flickers, I enter, walls close. Dust storms, rage, whispers. Sync, welcome, duplicates. 7 minutes on. Sensory overload peaks, the sound of crumbling concrete thunders like timelines fracturing. My lungs fill with dust, tasting epics, bitter and dry. The air compresses, heavy with replicated absences, suffocating multiplicity. Curves, twist, duplicates, line walls, versions of me aged variably, reaching, pulling toward convergence. 15 minutes into rift, horror evolves. Duplicates board the car, silent passengers dusting everything 50 years older. Rust spreads, they stare, whispers, chorus seal, or join empty. I spot a core, glowing anomaly ahead. Rift heart memories warp further at 30 minutes. I see infinite loops, tunnels, birthing voids. Curse sustains on skepticism. Kata. To collapse, deny the shortcut, no entry. I shout, duplicates wail. Multiplying, then imploding. Rift shakes. 7 minutes later, senses peak amid chaos. Touches sear like temporal burns. Dust swirls, forming seals on walls. Whispers fade, empty ends. 30 minutes more. Mind steadies, climax twists. The rift closes behind, exiting to normal world. Populated, but dust lingers. Duplicates whisper faintly. It's not gone. Scattered. 7 minutes on. Release overwhelms. Sounds normalize. Traffic hums. My car clean. No light. Dust. 50 years. Memory. 15 minutes. Into return. Final horror lingers. Figures in mirrors faint, watching rift remnants. I report it sealed. But echoes persist. 30 minutes end. The descent, mind heals roads. Realign free. Glancing back. Tunnel gone, but dust trails. The hush of settling dust fills my thoughts. Subtle like whispers from rifts, promising empty returns in tunnels unmapped. I am converging duplicated selves in the rift's crumbling core. They exhale dust from hollow eras that cloak the now in veils of absence. luring the unwary to tunnels where time fractures and emptiness claims all who seek shortcuts unspoken. I am Alex Rivera, emerging from the tunnel's maw onto a rural highway that feels both familiar and alien. The engine of my dust-caked car sputtering as dawn breaks over the treetops like fractured glass scattering light. The clock on the dash flickers erratically, jumping from 3:22 a.m. 2 times unknown 1978, 2028. Teens, still raw from gripping the wheel through the storm of gray powder, tremble as I glance in the rearview mirror. Faint outlines linger, their duplicates of me, their faces aged by layers of rift-borne dust, eyes hollow but watching the rifts. Korai smashed it with a desperate swing of a roadside rock, sparks and whispers exploding into a cacophony of collapsing timelines. Figures imploded, dust swirling into oblivion sealed. The world outside buzzes with life, now distant cars on the road, birds stirring in the branches populated. Real but whispers echo faintly from the vents. Empty lingers. I accelerate toward Albany. Tires kicking up residual grit. Phone signal returns. Alerts flood. My editors reply. Alex, where are you? Stories viral, but doubt claws. Mirrors clear. Attains. No shadows reform subtly. The highway straightens, leading back to civilization. But an unnatural hush blankets the air, broken only by the hum of the engine. Exhaustion presses like phantom hands on my shoulders. My notes from Grant's office burn in my pocket. Dusted gray memories of the tunnel's interior play on loop. Duplicates crowding, whispers sinking, the core pulsing like a heart of stolen time. Birds overhead circle oddly, their shadows elongating into figures walking silent on the roadside. Illusions from trauma. The radio crackles on static woven with drips. Rift, not closed. I switch it off. Persists from inside me. Inhaled dust stirring. 7 minutes tick by. Senses heightened sharply. The air carries a lingering bitterness, like inhaled antiquity turning sour, mingled with exhaust and morning dew coating my tongue. My skin itches with embedded grit, flaking off in patterns like faded maps. Unmarked routes, sounds of distant echoes, reverberate from the hills. Dripping water. Tino. Settling, cracking like old film reels unspooling. I am pulling over at a rest stop, empty at this hour. Splashing water on my face from a rusty faucet, but the mirror above fogs. Dust swirls within, forming faces. Linda's, Grant's, mine multiplied. They mouth silently join the empty. I smash the glass with my fist. Shards scattered. Blood mixes with gray powder, but reflections persist in puddles. Duplicated eyes staring up. The world feels thinner. People in a passing car glance over, their faces hollow, briefly infected. Curse scattered, not shattered. Memories flicker. I recall exiting the tunnel before multiple times. Loops, blending town ahead. Safety. Or final duplication. 15 minutes and horror reveals mercilessly the duplicates aren't fading remnants. They're evolving, manifesting in the populated world. 5 now. Walking the rest stop lot, aged by dust. Vals 50 years per layer, their steps silent. The whispers carry overlapping drips. Cars vanish briefly as they pass. Empty pockets forming. Tea, spreading like rifts in reality. My phone footage from inside the tunnel plays unbidden, showing the core's destruction. The tea, but it loops to show reformation. Dust coalescing anew, cannot seal, eternal. I run back to the car, driving on, but duplicates board invisibly wait. Pressing seats, cold touches numb my arms. The highway cracks faintly gray, erupting from fissures. Swallowing lanes, I am racing toward the university annex to burn Grant's notes. End the knowledge chain, but whispers amplify. Chorus of selves, you are the rift now. Buildings in distance fog with dust. People on streets pause, eyes hollowing. World emptying in patches. The annex looms, door ajar. Dust inside like a storm past 30 minutes pass. My mind twists profoundly, a memory alters deeply. I see the curse's true genesis, not a 1978 test, but a collective wish, drivers seeking shortcuts since roads began aggregating into the tunnel, duplicating desires into empty voids. Each entry adds a duplicate world, smashing the core, scattered them, but to end it, merge all duplicates, sacrifice the original. Self-confusion surges. I'm the anchor, hosting layers in my dust-veined blood. The duplicates merge closer, forming a singular shadow, towering, eyes pulsing as one eye bolt inside. To the office notes, scattered dust cascades, burying floors, whispers, scream, or empty all. 7 more minutes, intensify the assault. The scent of desiccated time rises, sharp like inhaled epochs, fracturing lungs. My breaths labor, chest heavy with accumulated gray, like inhaling 50 years per gasp. Whispers surround, become the seal I am spotting, the hard drive pulsing faintly. Rift remnant clarity hits the original entry point. Digital now, broadcast from here, destroy it, merge the duplicates by force. I hurl it against the wall, sparks erupt, but shadows swarm, smothering flames, whispers boom. Eternal shortcut cannot end, emotion surges. Memories assault, altered visions I wished for. The story opened the rift through exposure now. To close, reject the lure, no shortcut, I shout. Smashing again, drive explodes, duplicates claw fusing into me, pain of timelines colliding. 15 minutes later, the reveal deepens fatally. The merger isn't destruction, it's absorption, dozens of selves flooding my mind, dust aging me inwardly. 50 years per duplicate, wrinkles etch skin, visibly world outside empties fully, and repopulates in flickers. Rift heart in me now pulling threads. I hear voices broadcasting my own warning, looping infinitely. Avoid the tunnel. I am collapsing the annex, mentally willing the merger to implode. Duplicates scream silently, touts, erupts outward, burying the room. Whispers distort, fading to drips, then hush, building shakes, crumbling. Ghosts of selves fracture, dissolving into gray flurries, carried by vents out to the world, but free. 7 minutes on. Senses overwhelm and release. The sound of settling dust echoes sharply like timelines snapping shut. My body lightens, dust expels and coughs. Youth returns. Sky smooths, air clears, sweet like renewal. Sun rises, fully melting. Gray holds, I am stumbling out. Annex intact. No ruins, but world buzzes. People mill, unaware. Duplicates gone. Notes burned, curse merged, and sealed within. No whispers, silence, golden. 15 minutes into aftermath. Final horror lingers, a faint dusting on my hands, echo. Residue, the tunnel sealed across times, but in mirrors. A haze watching, I publish the story, myth debunked, burying it in disbelief. Rift feeds on that. No, ended 30 minutes, end. The saga mind heals, roads beckon anew, free of dust. I drive on glancing mirrors once. Clear nothing duplicates. The whisper of morning wind fills my car. Gentle like dust from tunnels, finally sealed in emptiness, unbroken. And to this day no one knows if the frost on those mountain mirrors truly faded, or if the silent passengers still hitch rides through the Rockies. Endless curves, maybe it was just a storm's cruel trick, or maybe the thanks they leave are invitations waiting for you in the tunnels of forgotten time. The dust of empty worlds may have settled, but who can say if the rifts are sealed forever? Perhaps it was just a glitch in the maps. Or maybe your next shortcut leads to silence unbroken. If stories like these make you glance twice at rearview mirrors or shadowed roads, you're not alone in the dark. Hit the like button before the whispers return. Subscribe and jointo. American Pulse, and paranormal, where we uncover the chilling truths that haunt the night and echo your deepest fears. Drive safe. F the road allows.